time for an NPR monthly report on a podcast, not NPR. They just turn like ASMR. All day we're learning nothing. Blake Jones, please teach us something.
Dum 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 ding. Dum 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 dum. It's the dumb zone. Hey Dan McDowell, Jake Kemp and Blake. Now that makes a crowd. I love to listen every day now. If he could do it, I would take a bow. It's the dumb zone. Ladies, let's dance and hope these fellas will give us a chance.
Hello. Listen, folks, I don't come to you as a hum for something. I don't come to you like this often, but I know that one of you out there wants to lease a vehicle. I know one of you does. I want to make that fair for you. Do this at fairlease.org. They're a Texas company. They're supported by Texas Credit Union. Just be the hero. Okay, somebody needs to lease a car this weekend. Someone needs to do it from their house quickly, have them deliver the car to their house. Who's it going to be? Who's the big-time player today?
Well, I think Fairlease. Is that what you're looking for here?
No, I need a listener.
Oh,
right
the
now.
listener is the hero.
Fairlease is
I
automatic.
thought Fairlease was the hero.
Is putting up points.
They're one of our best sponsors.
That's not even a question. What I need is someone who needs a car to contact them at fairlease.org.
Well, you got to mention the dumb zone. You got to put that in the thing. How'd you hear about us?
Yes, it's
you don't do that-
non-negotiable, non-starter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Be a hero at fairlease.org, folks.
Alright. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the dumb zone.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
We have Clayton here.
I'm gonna listen.
I see TC is here.
Wanna listen to the dumb zone. Alright.
I see Ted Emmerich here.
Whoa!
I never listen.
The TV Ted Show.
So if we do a show revolving around golf, all of a sudden Ted Emmerich just shows up.
I've got to be here. It's just part of the deal.
Seriously, when I walk out here and I see this weather and I feel it and I see the fairways, I hear his voice whether he's here or not.
I mean, you can
It's true.
cut the pollen with a knife. The tension is in the air here at Bear Creek Golf Club.
That's right. We're here for on behalf of Wire Will and his merry band of whatever.
Yes, it's the O.C. Taylor Dads Club from Grapevine, Colleyville School District. And when I was a kid, now this might have been like, if we're just going to put the cards on the table here, kind of a race/socioeconomic neighborhood thing. But I always thought schools that started with 2 letters were badass. Like the O.D. Wyatt.
Okay.
You're like, oh, you don't play with those guys.
You don't mess with O.D.
What else we got? Blake, give me some.
LD Bell.
Yes.
LD Bell
Yes.
felt dangerous at times for sure.
You got FC Dallas.
Fear in their hearts,
Is
folks.
that a high school?
The 2 name high schools too. I don't know.
2 name.
I guess Dallas Carter is a bad example, but when there's 2 names
Well,
to a
but-
high school, Wilmer Hutchins
Well,
always
but-
seemed like they'd be good.
Ooh,
About that.
more
And then
on
they
that
lost
later.
their receiving unit.
Shooting.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, O.C. Taylor Dad's Club, cool bros, our core audience. They love golf.
They love golf, folks, as does Ted Emmerich, who is fresh off of a Masters.
Can you tell?
Where,
I just had to wear the hat for you guys. I want everyone to know that I am officially Masters hat guy, and I'm also rope hat guy.
That's a sick hat.
It's
I
in.
hate it.
Do they
but-
give that to you?
No,
No.
chance.
Well, I didn't know
dude.
you're there covering the Masters.
Dude, NFL players
No.
pay for their own family's tickets. They're not giving
Absolutely
this guy.
not. Absolutely
This is
not.
Ted Emmerich.
There are people
No.
at the Masters, don't take this the wrong way, that don't know he's there.
Of course.
Oh, unbelievable. I can't believe that.
People say,
I won't
"Oh,
even
did
accept
you,
that."
Did you meet Jim Nance? Jim Nance has
Yeah, how
no
much time did
knowledge
you-
of my existence.
How much time did you spend with Rory?
Yeah, I mean, we just
Rory.
hung out after
a
every
hard name to
round
say.
at the house. You know, come on, man.
Did
He
he
did
talk to
send
you
me,
Saturday night just about his mindset?
Yeah, as we were
Keep it clear.
as we were watching Bridgerton with him and his wife, as he was getting psyched up for the final round.
Ladies love that show, Dan.
Yeah,
Do they?
he watched Bridgerton Saturday night.
Oh, he said this.
And Bryson watched a James Bond, Pierce Brosnan era movie.
Okay, that all pretty much.
That all checks out,
Checks
doesn't
out.
It's
it?
kind of
Yeah.
like when I saw Chris Sims a night before a big game going into, was it Legally Blonde or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Eh,
so.
The same week, I think Ray Lewis was saying he watched Gladiator the night before every game.
That's what it was, yeah.
Every
For a big murder.
every week. I want you to also know that I am a Chipotle Nationals guy.
What does that mean?
Some more merch. The
That's got to be a basketball tournament of some
tournament
sort.
that crowns a national champion in high school basketball. Won this year by Christopher Columbus High School in Miami
Wow.
with the Boozer twins.
Oh, you know what's crazy
Cameron
about the
and
Boozer
Caden.
twins?
Yeah.
Carlos kid?
Carlos'
Yeah,
sons.
they're like 6 inches apart, but they're twins.
Yep. Caden's a point guard, Cam's a big.
Yeah, but it's really, really weird.
Are they not identical?
No, they are fraternal.
Okay.
And they are going to Duke, so that's what's next post Cooper Flag.
The
for
Boozer.
Duke.
We're going to
The
hear a lot
Boozer
about
twin-
the Boozer
You're going to hear
twins.
all about the Boozer twins.
I wonder if they already have to, topic on their hair like their dad did. Remember how bad that got? I think it might have been when he was in Cleveland.
Like a hard shell head.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
a little Lego snap-on he would put on top of his hairline.
No, we were. It was a very messy divorce from Cleveland because I believe they had a verbal deal to sign a contract later, and if you sign this crappy one now, we'll hook you up later. And then when later came, he just ran to the Jazz.
That's like the most
Carlos-
Cleveland thing ever.
Carlos Boozer is on the list.
When you get walked for Utah.
Yeah. So what do you got from the Masters? Like, do you got any crazy tale for us? Anything like where do you do the broadcast?
We are in what they call the content center. This is a
Excellent.
building that they put together a few years ago that is literally across the street from the golf course. They acquired this land. It's next to a church. The Augusta National has bought all this land over the years as they just continue to sprawl and take over more of Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
We like right outside the window is the biggest collection of TV trucks you've ever seen. And this is where a lot of the international broadcasters are. BBC Radio, Canal TV, whatever, in France, German television, all of this. So no, it's not like I'm at 18, in the fishbowl, in the booth, a la Nance or anybody else. But you are still there. You walk the course on Tuesday.
Okay, they let you do that?
Yes, thankfully, yes.
Is that cool?
Yeah, it is. It's funny. You guys would probably bag on it.
I think I would love it. I really do.
Yeah, I want to get some steps, bro. How many steps you get?
Well, and you wouldn't just be getting steps, but again, it is such the cliche at Augusta National that, TV doesn't do it justice. Just all the elevation changes,
Is it
how
beautiful?
hilly it is. Yeah, of course. It's expertly manicured. Like, it's the nicest piece of property that you'll ever see. All the azaleas are blooming just in time. Like, the amount of
Do you
money
think they're putting
spend.
the pre-emergent on time there? And the
Oh, they
Feed and
have
feed?
somebody like Blake.
That was months
no
ago.
doubt.
Yeah.
Dude, they're,
Who
the people
runs
who
things.
run that course have, like, bodies on their ledger because they used to work for the United States government or NASA or something. Those are, like, the smartest science people you can find in the private sector, I bet.
And so this year on the crew, you had a couple of new people. They'd never covered the Masters before, and walking with them
on
that
your
Tuesday,
crew, the Westwood One crew?
Correct.
Okay.
They have never been there before. They've always wanted to go.
And you're
They're
old as vet
golfers,
now?
and
You're like,
I'm
I've
just the
done this."
jaded guy. Yeah, this is number 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me show
that's
you
it.
around.
Yeah, I'll show you around. And just the childlike wonder that they have. You guys would probably make fun of it, but at every turn, they were like, this is just the greatest day of my life. I can't believe. Listen, I was not like that in 2015, okay, when I was very blessed to go there for the first time, but it's really, really cool.
I
It
think I
is.
would pay a lot of money just to go to a big event where no one had a phone, and I couldn't either.
It'd be very interesting.
I've seen a handful of them, right? Like comedy shows. Just it's nice.
It's weird
I
in this
wouldn't
day and
recommend it.
age to not have a phone on you.
Yeah.
Like, you,
For an entire day. You got to leave it in the car.
do you have to when you just walk the course? Or
Yes, I leave it back at our studio.
They don't let you. Okay, because you're not
Now,
allowed to go out
again-
there and take a picture.
Again, we're not Nance.
This
who
is the,
who will get a sticker on his phone. He's exempt.
Oh,
There are a
really?
few people that are exempt.
God,
Just
that
the
makes too much
ultimate
sense.
big time move.
Wow.
But it's the Nico press conference of golf courses, right? It's like it can't record anything, can't. Whatever.
So during practice rounds, all leading up to Thursday when the tournament begins. It's not a championship, Dan. It's a tournament.
Okay.
You are allowed to bring an actual camera, disposable camera, digital camera. That's totally fine.
Polaroid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That is allowed. But starting Thursday,
The big one with the
No
exploding
phone.
light
Yeah,
bulb.
the
Can we
poof.
use that one? Yeah.
starting Thursday, no phone, no camera, no nothing.
You don't play golf, do you?
Very little. I got a lesson for the first time last summer. The bug started to bite me, and kind of getting that itch now as we
As you
get into
get
that time
older-
of year. And now that
he's a play-by-play guy.
I know, it just you can't fight it.
Right.
You
No.
really
and
can't.
I feel like age calls you to the golf course too.
Yeah.
Like now you have a Saturday. Your kids are not at home anymore. Your Saturday is now totally free.
Yeah.
You're looking over at that old bag. She's all. That ain't what I married 20 years ago. What if I?
I'm busy all
What
day.
if I just go out for
What if I go out for
4
5,
hours?
6 hours? Yeah.
Well, hey, I brought my
Call it-
clubs. You want a 9 and dine after this?
Me?
Yeah.
I told you I got an early 18 in this morning.
Oh, okay.
So I might have another 9 in
Yeah,
me.
make it, 27, 36. What's stopping you?
My favorite thing from his Masters trip is he knows how much I love a good lake sign.
Oh,
Hey, relax,
gosh, of
you're on
course.
lake time.
Oh, yeah.
And the house he was staying in had the classic wasn't born in the South but got here as quick as I could or something of that effect.
The house.
Do you
that-
stay in the same house every year?
We've stayed in the same house every single year.
Okay. Which is
You almost get to know their family,
Westwood one,
which
like
is kind of creepy.
Airbnbs,
Yeah, I mean
something like
whatever the deal is. I don't know if it's through Airbnb,
but they rent a mansion?
It's not a mansion. It's a house.
Oh,
Most
okay.
of the houses
in a
aren't,
community.
like huge, I don't think, right?
I mean, it's nice.
You get
it's
your own
not
room?
Yeah, I do.
right.
Yes, we all do. We all have our own bedroom. There's 4 of us to the house, and they've been renting this house this week for however many years now.
Do you stake the same room every year? Or do you
I
try different
have.
ones? Okay.
I have. Yes.
And since you're the vet on the crew, you're like, that's my room, bro.
There are nicer rooms. Like my room does not have a bathroom.
Oh.
in it. You got to share a
He's
bathroom.
humble.
Yeah.
You
that
don't
is
want to be
Jesus.
too big time.
Yeah.
I read this article. I think this article probably comes out every year, but it's just the recap of the rental market for those 7 days. The city does over double what they do in a normal month in those 7 days. And they time up spring break in the school district.
Yes.
Whatever school district is in Augusta, so that you can rent your house out. So
And
you
what
can
I've
leave
heard,
town.
what I've heard too, is that it's tax-free money. Like they have
nice.
some kind of deal on the books in Augusta where it is tax-free. The 10, 12K, whatever it is that you're getting for that week, renting out your house, get to keep all of it. It's pretty sweet.
What's the deal with taxes, bros?
Yeah,
I
man.
was doing some stuff on that this morning. Yeah, we've got an extension.
I thought Elon was
Post-tax
I
day.
don't know anything about taxes.
Thought they
I
were
think
going
should be-
away,
I
man.
think they should be higher.
Yeah, I thought they're gone because of a tariff. Anyway,
I don't know what's going on. Can't
Yeah.
get hurt by the stock market if you cash out your 401k to float you for a year. Black guy point ahead meme? For real. Like everybody's like, my 401k is destroyed. I'm like, I can tell you one way to avoid that.
do the thing that they say never
yeah,
do.
yeah. The thing that the lady on the phone is like, I think I have to ask you 12 times if you're sure you want to do this.
That's right.
Do you understand the penalty you're about to take?
That's right. That's right. Can I read this real quick to dovetail what you said about Nance on Monday?
Always.
There is a new feature article on him from golf.com,
Oh, yeah.
right up there with space.com.
I was- that's what I thought.
We got to get you signed up for that, Dan. The most famous voice in sports began his breakfast order with a peculiar adjustment to the menu. You know the toast, Jim Nance told our server, a smile forming at the corners of his mouth. I'll do the toast, Nance style.
He said that.
He said that with this writer present. He said that. And you know the story behind this, right?
No.
Okay. So to recap our favorite Jim Nance spins, you've got the oil painting that his first wife refused to put above the fireplace.
Barefoot?
Barefoot on the fairways.
A picture of him.
Correct. Picture.
oil
That's
painting
right.
of
Of
him.
only him, not the family, not the
him
couple.
and her. It's
Just him.
and he wanted
His-
over the fireplace.
That's right.
She said no.
Probably him and his CBS blazer, a headshot of some sort.
It's like A-Rod is the only other person I could think of. Okay, so 2.
So yes, taking his shoes and socks off and grounding himself, becoming one with Augusta National on Wednesday afternoon before the tournament begins.
Every
he does
year.
that every single year.
that rules.
And number three is how he likes his damn toast. And he has a laminated card in his wallet that shows a picture of burnt toast. That is how he likes it.
I think I recall you telling us before, and as much as I want to hate it, I love it, actually. I think it's great. Like, he's clearly had his toast messed up a lot. He's got a lot
He's
of power.
explained it before. He
He's
said,
explained it, yeah.
I'd like it really burnt. They bring it normal.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I mean, I just think
Set
that's
it back.
just,
Put it through again.
I think that's just
Did
smart.
did I stutter?
Because if you're going to – you will be remembered. It's the how to turn on your light on the iPhone, right?
Yeah, the lady who taught
know that story? So
the
that-
lady who was an asshole to you when she sold you a phone. But she was
Right,
like,
she's
hey,
like
idiot.
this.
Yeah.
She's real mean. She's like, you got to push down.
Just
I'm like,
gotta push
"Oh."
down on it.
And I'll never forget that.
Yes.
And so, yes, you will never forget Jim Nance's toast order, which you just got to be an a-hole.
I actually think that that's super defensible. But I think if I was like, I have a card, and I'd like a Kemp style, that I should be kicked in the stomach. You can't say that. But I love articles like that. TC and I have talked about this for years. Like when I first started reading celebrity profiles and Rolling Stone or Sports Illustrated, it always starts with an order.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Sharon Stone
They
ordered
ordered a chopped
avocado
salad.
salad
at
from a
the
West
Chateau
I was like,
Marmont.
why do I keep hearing so much about what these people are eating?
Dressing
And
on
it
the
starts
side.
with his breakfast order here at Augusta.
So this is at his favorite diner near Pebble Beach, one of his houses. Just as it appeared as if Jim Nantz knew everyone in the restaurant, he turned to the table and ordered breakfast with Nantz-style toast, and the waitress, evidently a newbie, paused politely. And by Nantz style, you mean? Oh, no. He said, oh, just put it through the toaster twice.
Incredible. Yeah, that's an actual human being who walks around in life like that.
That's why he needs the Musburger treatment.
Oh, dear.
They need a firing out of nowhere that
Hey.
shocks the world. Like,
Yeah.
get Elon to look at the CBS,
Right after
what are we paying? Let's see how
It's
can we
time
be
to-
more. Wait, this guy just does like golf.
renegotiate Romo a little bit, you think?
I don't know. I like Romo. Let him make what he's making. I'm on board with Romo.
The worst thing that could happen is if they do get rid of Nance and we're like, oh, man, Romo's still annoying. Like if they get someone great, and
Someone cool
cool
with
and,
him.
who
You'd
vibes.
put Iron Eagle with
Right.
him, which I'd love to hear.
I think that'd be
but
great. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that chemistry look like?
Nance. Oh, this moment.
Oh, the shimmering trees here at Bear Creek Golf Club, beckoning a new champion.
So,
here at the O.C. Taylor Dad's Club Classic.
It's so perfect. That's some kind of sports, Dan. But I would like to take this opportunity to tell you about Community.
Oh, yeah, Community Mechanical. They got bits going on over there.
I heard about this.
Let me see here. In fact, he was telling me about Wire Will. He said, I was talking to Travis. He said, Wire Will, Community Mechanical, Qualis, and a different listener who reached out who has a commercial construction company. They meet monthly to share best practices and give advice to each other and business to each other. So he said if anyone else who has home services or companies or anything adjacent to construction reach out, they would add them to that little cohort.
I'm going to go consortium.
Consortium.
We got a legitimate consortium.
So you can go to communitydfw.com. You could actually email Travis at communitydfw.com, or you can call or text 469-667-7290. But I think the main reason to hook up with them is preventative maintenance on your HVAC system. In fact, they're going to come out to my house next, I believe it'll be Monday, depending on where we do our show, Monday or Friday, because they want to get that done before the summer heat really kicks in.
Ooh.
That is important, apparently. Anyone who takes who signs up for preventative maintenance now through the rest of April will be entered into to win the company's 4 lower-level tickets and parking to a Dallas Stars playoff game.
Wow.
Also, you're entered into that contest if you see the Community Mechanical truck driving around DFW. They have like a fleet of trucks.
Ooh, I just saw one in the parking lot here at Bear Creek.
It says never listen to the dumb zone on the back.
Didn't
And if
see
you see one of those and take a picture of it, give it to Community Mechanical, you'll be in that contest as well. They're awesome, man. They give out $6.90 sit-ins if you end up getting a new HVAC system, but
Dude, I know you don't know
Gotta have
anything
them
about H, and that's before we even get to VAC. So let's check out communitydfw.com and hit up Travis. Communitydfw.com.
I know a lot about AC.
I like the idea of them, Will, the community people, Qualis, whoever else. Like, don't you love those scenes on The Wire where all the leaders get together and it's in a really like kind of shitty hotel room, ballroom?
Is that what you picture?
Yeah, and they're like discussing the price.
Like you got
of the-
Prop Joe. And,
yeah, string and like
Yeah.
there's Barksdale, and it just always there's like pictures of water, but that's it.
Yeah.
No
That's
one's
how I-
touching them either.
The Godfather had a
exactly.
similar type thing.
Yeah, I like that.
That's oh wow.
In my mind, that's all those rooms are used for. Like I don't really know what else they do other than where you decide the price of a brick. So
You want to
anyways,
go once to their little meeting?
I think that'd be nice.
I think they'd have us.
I think that'd be very nice. I watched a Mavs game.
Like
last
we'll give them
night.
some advice on business. Let me
Well,
tell
yeah,
you guys
I
how
mean,
to.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about taxes here. You got to file them quarterly.
We know more than we used to, folks. I'll tell you that.
Way more.
Sometimes you learn the hard way. I watched the Mavs game last night.
The whole thing?
I know you did.
Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah, I did. I wrote an article after the game.
Oh, that's why.
I only want to say this. I know I don't want to harp on Nico because I couldn't even read that whole transcript. We did a lot on it Tuesday. And talk to people who are in the room and all that kind of stuff. It all makes me sick, just what they're doing. I did want to just say this. Bring up Dirk's name again. How many bad bits are we going to throw on this whole the baddest bit of all
Well, they
was
were
just
asked about
trading
it.
him. Yeah, but just to say Dirk's not in, like I'm worried about who's in the building. Dirk's not in the building. Like you just keep to even invoke Dirk's name with a dusting of negativity around it somehow is blasphemy. How do you're the relationship guy. I hired him for the relationships he can develop. Like John Daniels, not a wild party guy either, right? You've seen him. He's kind of a stoic individual.
Sure.
You could liken him perhaps to a Nico mindset. I don't know. Analytical guy, he's just when they wanted to move, when they said, I think I got this 19-year-old shortstop who's ready for the big leagues, but our fan favorite is Michael Young. He's the current shortstop. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to talk this out with Nolan Ryan, and we're going to sit down with Michael Young together because I'm John Daniels.
Right.
I'm not Nolan Ryan. But Nolan Ryan can help sell this to Michael Young, fan favorite. In fact, he'll help sell it to the fans as well. Like, he at least had that thought of, I can't just go doing everything and saying, well, it's just about the team, and if we win in the long run, it's going to be fine. And that was with Michael Young,
No, that's a really good point.
who was nowhere near what Dirk is. Like what Luka is to the franchise. And, Nolan Ryan, though, there's a Dirk, right? Statue. Has everybody's respect. If Nolan Ryan signs off on this. So, yeah, you know what? You probably get with Dirk early, and you convince Dirk that this is a good move. And your only reason you didn't was probably because you feared, Dirk will never understand.
And that's it. Well, he could have done worse than just not understand. He could have thwarted it somehow. So
Well, no, that wouldn't be worse because in the long run, don't you need
worse for Nico because he wanted to get this
Wire
done.
Will needs some guys to bounce some stuff off of. He's Qualis. He's talking to guys at Community Mechanical. You're bouncing some things off. What do you don't just bounce things off Patrick Dumont, who is not involved in basketball. Do it with people in the game who know the game.
And and he's not really bouncing things off Patrick Dumont. He's telling him it in a way that he understands it the way that he wants him to. But you're right. But whoever made the point, Kirk or Ben, on Tuesday about the hero complex, that's what it is. And so you're trying to make sense of the way that he's responding to questions and answering things. You're trying to say, like, well, why isn't he doing this in this sensical way? But
I'm trying to use
from
logic.
the beginning of the thing, it's not a logic or sensical thing. It's an emotional hero inferiority insecurity type thing. So I think there's a way you could have answered that question and said, Dirk means the world to us and he always will. I have a great relationship with him. I do typically value his opinion some way, but just saying on this particular issue, it was something that I felt very passionate and compelled about. We appreciate Dirk. There's a different way to say it, but he was never going to say it that way because the type of person that would say it, they would not have made the goddamn trade in the first place.
Yeah.
The same person is crazy enough or aloof enough to not realize how things are going to go over in both cases.
All right. Well, I'm done with that.
Well, I am not.
But I know you were watching the game, and
I'm going to play you a piece of audio.
I did not tune in.
I'm going to make you
It hurts me that I have to root against them, but I do.
I'm going to make your head explode, and then we're going to move off the Mavs, I guess.
All right.
This is from the broadcast last night, pretty early on. The Mavs were locked in. That's not a team. I hate not a team you want to play. They play very hard and they're big. Like even without Kyrie, they're all over you defensively. Now the Kings had a bucket of effort at all times right now, and Malik Monk is out. They traded De'Aaron Fox, so they were working them.
Mm-hmm.
So, that might have been on me after we unplugged and plugged in Blake. So let's see. Is it not playing?
They have packed, Dave, for 8 days. Their expectation is to win here tonight, to win in Memphis, and to play OKC in the first round.
Well, we know this about Nico Harrison. He is fearless.
Dave Pash.
And I like Dave Pash.
I do
but
too.
I
a
wanted
lot.
to have a conversation about this, but you want to hear any more?
Well, we know this about Nico Harrison. He is fearless because he traded a player that obviously Maverick fans loved and will always love in Luka Doncic, and continues to say that he has no regrets with that trade and that he feels defense wins championships. That's why we have Anthony Davis and not Luka Doncic.
Okay. So I don't think that there's any sort of mandate from a league or from a network to say, hey, let's just not spend 3 hours calling this guy a fucking dummy. Like we're not going to do it. I don't know that there's an edict, but I do think in a production meeting, whether it's people above the actual broadcast or in the broadcast, they are talking about it in a way where they're like, we don't really want this to be that. We don't want to for 3 hours just be like, this is the dumbest shit. You shouldn't even watch this basketball game. How could you care about this team with this idiot involved? I feel like they're just trying to present like he's sticking to his guns here, but the gun that I stuck to was the revolver that I chambered around in halfway through the first quarter last night when they were like, treat him like he was fucking William Wallace.
Yeah, I think.
What are we doing here?
I think a non-opinion, you can just point out that there's Nico Harrison in the crowd, pulled the trigger on the biggest trade in NBA history or whatever. But then, that's it. You don't have to then kind of.
Isn't it part of the story though?
Do you have to pump him up a little? Because that's kind of what that is. Fearless.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any kind of mandate where, hey, you got to soften the blow on this and make him look good, or at least present the other side, even if we can all agree does that really exist.
But he's trying.
But it's something you have to bring up. It's the play-in tournament now, and from Pash's perspective, it could very well be a new audience. It's not just Mavericks fans at that point. It's a game that's on ESPN. You got to talk about it.
They were showing him a lot too. I don't know that it was Dave Pash's call, but here's Nico, and hell, when I see him on TV, I'm still like, holy shit, there he is. Look at this guy. Look at him, because you don't even see him on TV every game anymore. The Mavs broadcast sure as shit isn't showing him over in the tunnel.
Right.
So when I see him, I'm like,
fearless, but you're not in the seats.
That's the common
I don't
response.
think you actually are fearless.
For sure. But I kind of get jarred when I see him. That's the human being who did all this. So the camera stayed with him for a very long time. So at some point, Dave Pash is like, we got to say something.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll play it for you. I might have cut it off, but Tim Legler, who I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know about all that, but the Mavs are competing very hard inside. He just wanted so
trying
bad
to get back to ball.
to be like, dude, there's a basketball game. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
know what
the
I
way
mean?
you should run it. It is a basketball game, and people are interested. I don't like the play-in overall. I've now
The
evaluated
SoFi
that.
play-in tournament?
Don't you hate it?
You son of a bee.
Because
I just hate it because I don't know where to find the stats on Basketball Reference, and I swear to God that's the only part I don't like.
I wanted to bring that up.
It drives me crazy.
I wanted to bring that up. There are no stats.
It's
I
not
know.
regular season. It's not the playoffs.
It's the taint. It's the taint of
Purgatory.
of basketball.
Yeah. That's great.
It's neither ass nor
the
balls.
tainted.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
Would have been as fun if they called
there
it
are
the,
no stats
the
though.
ninth.
I don't know what the ninth is.
Well, you said it's neither the like.
Oh.
well,
no one
it's-
is doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's called taint because you say it taint. Yeah.
I thought I did hear someone say, like, this is Anthony Davis's 7th play-in game.
What?
It's funny you say that. I mean, they said last night that Jonas Valanciunas is at 9, so he's the
The
he's
king
the leader
of the
but-
play-in.
But if you're telling me that AD's already at 7, he is a real threat for that.
Yeah.
Health would be the only thing holding him back
Yeah, I just
from those dizzying heights.
it's just that you play a whole season and then you're like, well, little like it's the 65th team in the NCAA. Like, come on.
yeah.
When are we going to stop?
Well, they're in a tough spot. It's a lot of I don't know if it'd be rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, but they're trying to fix a model that incentivizes your team being bad. Like, they're doing everything they can to figure out a way for you to not, like, intentionally lose 60 games. So, to the degree that it's worked, I don't know. But
Because it's a little different because in this particular sport, as we found out, I hate coming back to it, but one person
Yeah.
can mean everything. Like, you get one person, and that instantly makes you in the conversation to be a contender because you did draft LeBron. Now it's up to you to put the right pieces around him, but that's why you don't trade one of those guys. You just you dream.
Well,
of,
and here's the
you
thing.
hope that you can get into that lottery and win that number 1 overall pick, and have it be in a certain year when.
Here's the thing. It's
the
not
player is
just
that.
because they're the Kings and they had a chance to have the player who's that also. It's not just because it's the Kings who are there with the Suns, who are ironically probably like the 3 worst outlooks. 3 of the 5 or 6 worst outlooks for their team in the NBA. 3 of them are teams that decided they wanted, quote, out of the Luka business.
Yeah.
But it's not even the Luka part of it when I watch the Kings. When I watch the Kings, I'm like, oh, God, this is what it's going to be like. Like, this is what it turns into. This is what the wilderness is. Where you're like, I guess somehow – is that Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, like, what the – who the – your team just turned – because you have no draft picks, right, as McMahon pressed Nico on in that meeting. You don't have any draft picks. All you really have is money, right? Your owner ostensibly will spend as, like, a top 10-ish team. So you just end up with, like, guys who are 32 who score 18 points a game on inefficient shooting and make $30 million a year. That's your team. So as the Adam Silver meme goes, the Mavs better get ready to learn play-in, buddy.
Do you like the new NBA? The parody?
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. I think it's cool. The West this year, the West playoffs are going to be incredible. And it probably helps that the Thunder are a legit, like, historical force, but no one takes them seriously yet.
Is this thanks to LeBron?
No, I think
For
I
introducing
never
the
thought of
player
that. Yeah,
movement era.
I never thought of it that way until you framed it like that. But I would agree.
The player empowerment era, where guys just jump team to team all the time, and yeah, I mean that's free agency really did that. Allows all teams to kind of have hope. Like it used to be, how many years in a row was it the Cavs and Golden State? Because that's cool too.
Yeah, maybe I like this more
if you're
because
a
I
Cavs fan.
experienced that. But I don't know. This is pretty
But if you
cool.
were the Mavs in the Golden State dynasty era, you never thought, oh, maybe this year we'll kind of sneak in.
No, and then, I mean, heck, even during Dirk's prime, right? Like, I mean, it felt like the Spurs and Lakers were legitimately historic type teams for a dozen years. But I like it. I'm excited for the playoffs to start. I think it's, I don't know. This has been the hot group chat talk for me. The one you're not in, TC. Deal with it. I think it would be very funny if the Mavericks advanced to the postseason and just got stomped by Oklahoma City 4 times, and it was embarrassing, and all the national talking heads. Yeah, I know. Well, what if they beat him even once, and the roller coaster would have to yank so far back? But I'm trying to decide what's worse for Nico. A prolonged week of everyone just talking about how dumb it was as they lose, by 30 points to Oklahoma City, But in that scenario, the owners get 2 home gate playoff games. So I don't love that.
That's true.
Because it's kind of anticlimactic to just lose to Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, or no Ja Morant Grizzlies on Friday night. But I'll be watching.
Do you think they will?
I think they can beat the Grizzlies. I put the meager rest of my account on them last night. We're rolling Mavs money line until this thing falls off. There's no reason they should have been underdogs. They got 5 last night. Anthony Davis is so far and away better than anybody out there, and he didn't even have to play that great. It's not even close.
Well, and that's why you would bet on a Luka team sometimes. Is like, well, who's got the best player in this series?
What if? So now, stay with me. You got a guy. You know he's the best guy in the play-in game. You're going to ride with him? I got another guy. He'll be the best player in the finals and, like, all throughout, and he'll get you there. He's never actually played in a play-in game, though. So
What's
I don't know
his
which
defense like?
I don't know which one you're more fired up
Yeah,
about.
but they're going to say he wasn't the best player in the finals because he was out of shape.
He was out of shape. He was hurt because he was out of shape, blah, blah, blah. Man, I got really mad last night just watching. Of course, Clay did what he does. Of course, dude, Clay hit 4 threes in a matter of this, and the game was over. And I'm like, yeah, that's why he's here, so that Derrick Jones Jr. and P.J. Washington can't take 9 threes a game and make 2. While the Celtics are like, fuck all this. We're just going to make Luka beat a triple.
Yeah.
That's why you go get Klay Thompson. That's why you go get Najee Marshall. He can score inside and doesn't just have to shoot threes.
Yeah, but you acquired Clay mostly because defense wins championships.
That is rich. I love the Clay defense thing. That is.
Like, I wish I didn't hate Anthony Davis so much right now, but
I wish
do.
you didn't.
He's collateral damage
slightly makes me uncomfortable.
I kind of had thought, probably pre-Derek Lively, it was like, because remember when it was the thought when they even traded for Kyrie is he just wants to play with LeBron? So, well, what if they worked a trade revolving around Anthony Davis and Kyrie? The numbers might work, and
No, I would have considered it. We talked about that.
for sure, that's one you have me talking. Now, I love Kyrie now.
Yeah, I know
guy.
you do. You know what I love? Early Bird CBD. We're doing Early Bird CBD right now. I'm
Let's
calling
go.
a check at the line.
Let's go.
What are you laughing at?
What?
They got a special for, did
Oh,
you realize?
do they?
This weekend
What's
is
coming
420,
up,
bro.
boys?
420.
420.
Happy 420 to you and yours.
Happy 420 to you.
We're having a 420 egg hunt Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you got in there?
Little early bird. If you find the right eggs, you get a little early bird
Yeah.
CBD.
You just check back a couple hours later.
What's their promo code now? They got a special thing going.
The promo code is still it's 420. It's site-wide. So it's not, specific to us, but it is specific to 420. So the promo code is 420 site-wide. That's 20% off the duration of this sale. They also have they've worked with a craft chocolate maker.
Out of like Minnesota or something.
Get out of here with that, Yankee. Where's Early Bird from?
Texas.
The chocolate maker's from Texas. And right now, you can get a chocolate made with this chocolate maker and Early Bird CBD to get your Early Bird infused chocolate bar. 10 milligrams of THC in each chocolate bar. Why don't you have yourself a little Valentine's 420, You and the lady get a chocolate bar, split it, see where things go.
Hell, get her one too.
Absolutely.
You both take a 10.
Why not?
Yeah.
Promo
Discount code. What? Oh, sorry.
420.
Yep.
My bad.
And you get the chocolate bar for free if you order over $42 worth of stuff.
Get out of town.
How about that?
All right, so go to earlybirdcbd.com. Use promo code 420.
Clip it.
I have some more sports to beat you down with.
Okay, I do too.
My whole goal today is to just wear down your defenses.
Okay, I have positive things.
You keeping up with this Bill Belichick news, bud?
Whoa, what?
There's more?
Not just the reporting is nonstop.
What's new?
Oh, yes. The Athletic.
I am unaware.
She is running the program.
Open records request, Dan.
The problem with your public university is they are subject to the FOIA. Maybe that's what your Chinese restaurant guy was saying that one day.
Not Hoya?
He wasn't telling you he was starting for the Browns. He was telling you there were some documents that he wanted unredacted.
Okay.
And you were like, how do you do it? He was like, FOIA. FOIA.
God.
Oh.
So stupid.
It's not. It is. So, yeah, The Athletic has a long article. Just like we knew the detail about how she was asking his girlfriend, 23, 24, or whatever, 25-year-old girlfriend, was asking to be copied on all correspondence sent to Bill and Michael Lombardi, which somehow
Also is wild.
somehow is funnier to me than the idea of Bill Belichick talking to her. But
Oh, for sure.
so he had the video of him of her at practice wearing crazy Tar Heel get up, like custom bedazzled.
Like, what if I achieve my dream and I got my 22-year-old girlfriend,
Your 22-year-old goth.
but she's
Just like I have to run all my
anything-
shit through her on the
anything
show.
we all do,
the
just-
artwork.
just CC her on it. Why is that going to hurt you, Blake?
By the
Just
way,
throw her
that's
on it.
twice now I've drank water with ice, and I apologize for both of them. I'm trying to be better about it. I'm trying to be better about that. And
Are you reading comments?
Wolves.
Stop.
No, I'm trying to
Stop.
be better at broadcasting, and that's a selfish thing for me to do.
It's the hydro flask. Let
Hey,
it
Dan,
ride.
Wolves.
let's do viewer mail today. I
Wolf.
don't know. Ask her.
Wolves.
See if
Wolves.
we could fit it in our schedule.
It's not that different from that, dude, because The Athletic has more details now, which means
This is great.
They have more
He'd br-
emails.
He'd bring her in the DZRV.
Oh, of course he would.
Absolutely.
Hey, I don't know. What about just like This Week in Goth? Give her own segment. So Jordan, his girlfriend, is weighing in on a number of different things. One of them that people sunk their teeth into was her descriptions for how Steve Belichick should be marketed.
Yes.
How he should be marketed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
We
Steve.
we need to market Steve Belichick.
That's
is what-
right.
First breaking news. Okay.
Hey, this is a big time program here.
Yes.
This is UNC football.
How are you going to present Steve Belichick
Isn't
to
it
the
like
world?
a $72 million contract or something?
Bill?
What is it? Is it something crazy?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years? I don't remember.
Oh, then it's not that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a long-term deal.
Though Steve, this is from her email.
Oh, 5 for 50.
Okay. But it's a big enough deal where they're going all out. Now, not all out in terms of the HBO's Hard Knock style show they were going to do, which his girlfriend got killed.
Yeah.
She says in her email, quote, though Steve Belichick is in fact Bill's son, he should be depicted and represented as his own established, credible entity as opposed to an extension of Bill. It can be easily misinterpreted that Steve is simply benefiting from nepotism, but that is not the case. Steve was fortunate to have learned football strategy from the, quote, greatest defensive mind of all time. He has earned his position due to his performance and output. She said that they should avoid using visual prompts that could fuel accusations of nepotism. And I believe by visual prompts she means showing them next to each other and clearly indicating they're the same family. It wouldn't be as hard if he had like adopted Michael.
So this is
Orr.
for all the
people would be like, just show him.
this is
It's
for
kind
all
of a
the
good look for us, honestly.
So this is for the social media team or
No, not
whatever?
even just that, dude.
No.
It'll be like the materials they show in the stadium. It'll be like pictures, of the staff. It'll be all marketing material. A lot of it, I guess, now is social media.
Where you
but
line up for the team picture, don't put Steve next to Bill.
Almost certainly that'll be.
They'll be on opposite ends.
Because I'll be next to Bill. Will she
right.
be in the official
that's
team
no
picture?
question.
That's a great question.
You say no question?
Yes.
She
No,
doesn't
she
even
can't
have an
be.
official title.
She can't be.
She doesn't work for the program or the
She
university.
is-
I want to be very
I
clear
thought
about
She is
that.
going to find a way.
I thought they pay her something.
Boy, that's a great
I'm
call.
sure they pay her well, I swear I saw that she does not have an
I
official
think you're
position.
right.
I saw Stuart Mandel report that. But in any case, let's go
Okay,
back
so
to these emails.
I like to think of, because I have a daughter who's early 20s, so I like to think she's dating Bill Belichick. Would I be able to tell her some things that I think, this is the way I think Belichick should have run some things, and then she, is her dad actually instituting some of these rules? Because he's giving her a little advice. You know what? I don't think you guys should do Hard Knocks. That just doesn't feel like Belichick to me.
Well,
All right, I'll
listen,
cancel it.
So my first thought is no way Bill Belichick has it all figured out, or at least thinks he does. He don't listen to shit from no one. However, we're learning that he may be more receptive to information if tied to a 22-year-old piece of ass.
Right.
So if you in fact had that, and instead of your daughter being like, we should change the uniforms to this and we should change the marketing to this, she was like, just play 3 safeties every down.
Flea
Like,
flicker. Flea
you
flicker
need
once a
based
drive.
off it.
Never
yeah.
punt.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe, right? Isn't this what much of history is about? Like some duplicitous on the smart woman who little pillow talk and brought down an empire?
Yeah.
The Jezebel
Yeah.
of North Carolina. She is listed as the Chief Operating Officer, COO, of Belichick Productions in
Yes.
emails.
Dude, so that's not a real job. That's not.
The Athletic was
Absolutely
unable to
is.
find a business listing for Belichick Productions. Belichick
Are you
Productions.
telling me it's not an actual LLC?
He might have that, but that's probably about it. All right, so we went over the nepotism stuff. She continues on that. It's really worth emphasizing the point that Steve has the experience of being a college, all caps, defensive coordinator, and he'll bring a plethora of knowledge to the coaching staff.
She all capsed it.
She all caps college. Can I tell you, I don't know if this is still the case, and this woman's a lot younger than I am. There are a few words, don't ask me for more than this one at the time, but when I hear them, I'm like, oh, that's probably a white woman who got a degree at a 4-year university and thinks she's smart. That word is plethora. White woman, oh my God. Oh, it was just a plethora of, and they use it like the scope is too wide for it. Plethora.
They take
It's a
plethora over myriad.
Yes, yeah.
Plethora
If
is
you're
the
in
play.
sports media, you do myriad. If you're
Yes.
in a sorority, you
Yes.
do plethora.
If you went to Rowan,
She's
got a 4-year
rolling.
university.
Oh my God, I have some nightmare stories. I believe being strategic. Back to Jordan. I believe being strategic about the depiction of Steve will prevent controversy and show utmost respect.
Not utmost. She spelled it.
Utmost
Yes.
respect towards Steve's career. Validate Bill's decision to hire Steve.
Upmost.
She's tried to trademark like a bunch of his Patriots words.
What?
Yeah.
Do your job? I can't think of what.
Patriot Way.
There was a bunch of them were like do your job is one of them. I'm trying to think of an because it says here that she was that she trademarked the Belichick way, the Bellustrator.
No way.
The czar of the Bellustrator.
Yes.
Fantastic. Chapel Bill.
Love
Okay,
it.
all right.
Love it.
And Chapel Bill's version.
Oh my God.
Like Taylor
Like
Swift.
Taylor.
when she
Capitalize on
recorded-
Taylor.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like in a normal world, this is all we're talking about. Like the greatest coach of the greatest sport this country has to offer. Like it's so perfect.
Is being led around by his wiener. I would have.
I don't even-
What was she doing?
You would
in
have
that
never had
video?
this. Like, what would seriously a Luka trade or this? What would you have had in the car? Like, if I said one of those things will happen in 2 years.
Well, if you had asked me like a couple years ago, I probably would have taken Belichick because we were kind of down the path. But if you had asked me in like 2010, like, hey, there's going to be this guy, he's going to be all NBA 5 years in a row, he gets traded, or Bill Belichick gets wrecked by Poon. Like I would have been like, well, NBA players get traded, so that seems more likely to me.
Like, is this happening? If he got the Atlanta job last year,
No.
like, is she out of his life?
Yeah, probably.
Because did they start dating after he was rejected by the rest of the NFL?
I think it was like during the time, if I recall correctly.
Because he would have been back in,
Yeah.
spending 18 hours a day there. But instead, they gave him some free time, and all of a sudden, this girl finds him. How did they meet? Did it say in that article?
On a plane, right?
Yeah, on the airplane.
Yeah.
They sat next to each other, and she was just so damn smart.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm into business. And he's like, I'd like to be your mentor. And then they kept in touch with their fingers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know how to keep in touch with fingers. I got a couple things. I watched the Greg Maddux documentary, and I looked at some one-day contracts for you. So think about which one of those you want while we kind of follow up on Fitness Pact.
Ooh.
Isn't that the app
Oh, yeah.
that you had me load up?
It is. Fitness Pact is an app. It's in the App Store, the store for apps. And it's here to help you track your fitness with regular check-ins. And the point of this one is the Pact.
Mm-hmm.
You partner up with your friends. You come up with a challenge. So you can do running. You could do mall or like Lowe's walks, hypothetically, if you're a
How about just
psychopath.
outdoors? Steps.
Outdoors.
Yeah, you know, like I'm trying to look at my steps for today. I took a little walk this morning.
But
little walk
everybody
and talk.
knows that you're going to be more accountable if you've got buddies and you got skin in the game. Fitness
Yeah.
Pact helps you do that. This is just science. It's just science. So how are we doing on steps for the last week, Dan? I have to double you up.
You're probably destroying me.
I know I'm destroying you, but I handicapped the game.
I'm like mid 6,000s,
Okay.
6,500.
Oh, he laughed at you.
If the deal is me doubling you up, you lose.
Really?
I didn't get to 20,000, but I did double you up and then some.
Okay.
You know what that means?
It means I'm going to have to watch an Ernest movie.
That means this weekend Dan will be watching either Ernest Scared Straight or Ernest Goes to Africa.
Yeah. I was looking at the preview for Ernest Goes to Africa. Pretty racist.
What a surprise.
Looks a bit racist.
Yeah, it's a piece of its time.
So Fitness Pact. Because of
Pact.
this Fitness Pact app you got me on.
Yeah. You
and
lost.
this bit we're doing, I'm going to have to watch a pretty racist movie.
Most people.
Who says I lost?
Let me tell you something. Most people, when they engage with Fitness Pact, they download the app, they get in with their friends. They are motivated to achieve their dreams
Yeah.
and their goals. That's what happened for me.
I got 2 days left in this week, though.
Okay, well,
If I just walk like 80,000 steps a day, and I
get
think I'll
on
beat
it.
you.
Go download the app at fitnesspact.com. Learn more at fitnesspact.com.
So Tyron Smith.
Mm-hmm.
1-day contract.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake called me this morning. And he's like, did you ever do the bit you talked about? Which was, was it Doug Free? Someone
TC might remember, but there was someone to me like Doug Free, Phil Costa.
Mark Colombo is the one that
Maybe Mark Colombo.
made me laugh more than any of them.
That was it.
Because Jerry gets and sorry, I don't mean to steal the
No,
thunder,
this-
but no, go ahead. Jerry gets up there and presents both jerseys, one in the blue, one in the white.
I don't remember that at all. Like I remember.
God,
I guess all I remember is that he actually signed a 1-day contract, and I thought that was ridiculous.
No, yeah, he retired. That's definitely it. This is the start of this bit, the bastardization of the 1-day contract to where, I mean, Mark Colombo was a nice dude and all, but that's insane. And the reason I bring this up is because Dan once educated me on
Jungle Jim Loskatoff. That was a study I did when I first moved to Dallas and was seeing Brad Davis's number hanging in the rafters, and I thought, Brad Davis. So I went like, who is that? First of all,
Yeah, you grew up in another city.
I
so
went
if you
to-
heard of him at all, you're like, what?
basketballreference.com, and you look at his stats, and you're like, in fact, can we do it? He averaged like 10 points a game, and
Yeah.
but he was a point guard. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He averaged like 6 assists. Like it was
Such
not,
a floor general, though.
Well, apparently he was white
Oh, okay.
and a fan favorite.
And they needed something.
8 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists
5 assists for the starting point guard.
while shooting
Who-
32% from 3.
Don't quote his 3 numbers.
Who they
you
retired his
butthead.
number.
Different era.
They retired like no one
Oh,
else.
look, all their babies died when they were young. Stupid.
No one else will wear
Times change, man. Yeah, Brad Davis
whatever
is famed.
number. Right.
I don't even know.
Career
Anyway, so
year.
then that's easy to find, though. Is you could find every team's retired numbers.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and put in the stats. And I found there was only one player with objectively worse stats than Brad Davis, and his name is Jim Loskatoff. Oddly enough,
Also.
not oddly that he was white, but it was oddly enough that he was on the Celtics during their like run of being in the championship game, if not winning it, like 15 years in a row, right? So, like
Just a
back in the
winner.
60s or the 50s or whatever, but apparently he was just a fan favorite. And you're thinking, gosh, if you join the Yankees, it's going to be tough to get your number. If you're on the Celtics,
How?
the bar is raised to, you got to be better than Larry Bird. No, Jim Loskatoff got in early. I would imagine if he played for the Celtics in this day and age and was a fan favorite.
Peyton Pritchard or something.
Yeah, who was the custodian?
Brian Cardinal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
That's what
Oh,
it makes
yeah.
me think that
Yeah.
in the day where you weren't allowed to have free agency and guys didn't move around, if Brian Cardinal was a Mav for 15 years and part of a bunch of great teams, like, all right, let's retire his number too.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different bit, though. It's very hard to find every player who has signed a one-day contract in the NFL because apparently it's happening all the time. I'm looking at – I just wanted to start with, let me start with the Browns. And apparently they just had 2 guys sign one-day contracts.
Johnny?
Rashard Higgins
What?
Hollywood Higgins.
and Christian Kirksey.
Wow.
Linebacker?
Joe Hayden recently did as well, but Joe Hayden,
I
if you
can
go
see
to a
Joe
Browns
Hayden.
game,
Joe Hayden was
that was the most
guy.
one of the
Yes.
most prevalent jerseys
Yes.
we saw at the Browns game when we went this year. But yeah, so apparently if you just call your team and be like, hey, it'd be really cool if. So it's very difficult to find, but I did find. I looked at a couple of lists.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know that this is possible, but I feel like it would be really funny if we tried. I think we need to contact Ben DiNucci, and similar to like a Heisman campaign, we need to put the Dumb Zone behind a campaign to get Ben DiNucci to retire a Cowboy.
See if Jerry would do it.
Dude, I mean, it's just like saying Romo might end up in the Hall of Fame because of the broadcasting. The Nooch has the hat. Who's had a bigger impact? Him or Christian Kirksey?
Plus you got the submarine throw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyways.
So I did
think-
find somebody on Reddit who had put together a list of baseball players
Ooh.
who have signed one-day contracts. And I think the one-day contract seems to be, well, it's got to be. It's a current thing, right? This wasn't done in the 70s and 80s.
No player movement.
There wasn't enough player movement, yeah. So, there's a lot of names on here that I guess make sense. Lance Berkman
Yeah.
with the Astros. Nomar Garciaparra.
Yeah.
Vlad Guerrero went and signed one with the Angels. Roy Oswalt with the Astros. Some Frank Thomas, Jim Tomei. Some look a little weird. Oh, Pudge. Pudge signed a one-day contract with the Rangers. Some were a little weird, I thought. As I look through this list, you're like Mike Sweeney.
Royals?
Didn't really make sense to me, but then I looked at it. WAR 24.8. Was with the Royals for 13 years. Went to Oakland for 1, Seattle for 2, Philly for 1, and then signed a one-day contract. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You were a 13-year veteran. And
Yeah.
Carlos Pena's I found was weird. 25.5 WAR. Remember, he started with the Rangers. That was one of the Rangers' missteps. He signed a one-day contract with the Rays. But that was the very middle of his career and probably just where he found success. He was with Texas, Oakland, Detroit, Boston, Tampa Bay, then the Cubs, Houston, Kansas City, and then back to Texas. And he ends up signing a one-day contract with the Rays, who were his, fifth team?
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. Like, when I was just thinking of, and he's probably not good enough, but like Nelson Cruz, I think identifies as a Mariner.
He signed a one-day contract with
Did
the
he
Mariners.
really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, maybe that's why I was thinking that.
He absolutely did.
That's so weird, man. So weird.
I
barely remember that. Didn't he have 1 year he mashed in Baltimore and that was the deal, or
Minnesota, he did.
Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah.
Chone Figgins. That one stood out to me like, really?
Chone.
called him
Anaheim.
Sean.
He was on the Angels for 8 years, went to Seattle for 3, the Dodgers for 1, and then signed a one-day contract. 22 WAR, so okay. He was doing something.
Yeah.
Those teams were good, too.
Brad
Aren't they?
Lidge stood out to me.
Brad Lidge.
Now, he was a closer, so that's going to – you're not going to have a great WAR. It's 7.8. But he started with Houston, went to Philly, then Washington, and then signed a one-day contract with Philly. Okay, maybe that's where he first started having real success as a closer. And never led the league in saves, but, was in there in the 30s and 40s for saves. And the one that I have come up with as the worst, the Jim Loskatoff of one-day contracts, in baseball at least, Ryan Vogelsong.
What?
Who?
Who played for the Giants for 7 years.
Oh, yes.
Then he went to Pittsburgh and played for 6 years. And in those 13 years, was able to compile a WAR of 1.2.
You're almost on pace, right? 0.1 a year, just
Like
chipping
he's
away.
barely above a minor league
Yeah,
player, right?
yeah.
Or a replacement
Above
level
is
player.
above. That's
One-
crazy. I don't know. I mean, you know what this is. Just like with Jungle Jim or Brad Davis, this just tells you how much we don't know about how guys are thought of in other cities. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of like, oh, Ryan Vogelsong was probably on a popular camera commercial for 12 years and had a cool song or something.
Did charity work?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's got to – but I do love the guys who are half and half. And then, like, what do I pick?
Spin the wheel.
Arbitrary decision. I'm trying to think of – Colombo's got to be the lowest one.
Cowboy?
Yeah, like what's going on with Jalen Smith? Did he ever officially retire? Because he seems like the perfect candidate.
He does.
I'm seeing that, like, I don't recall DeMarcus Ware doing it, but he did.
That makes sense. And Tyron Smith makes sense. Especially that he left for that one. The whole thing, though, why? What are we doing?
Get to say nice things about people while they're still alive.
And I wonder if the agent has ever called the team. Like you said, let's try to get DiNucci. Has the agent ever called the team and then they say no? Like, we're not going to do this for you.
God, that'd be great.
Like, really? You punted for us for 3 years. Yeah, but I had a kid in Dallas and all this. Okay.
Are you guys going to be there for Aubrey's one-day contract signing?
He's
That's
never going to retire.
Yeah, with no need.
And he's never going to not be a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah. So
Why would you do that? Why don't you just
I'm not saying it's anytime soon.
why don't you
They
just say
took Luca from us.
why don't you say Dirk sucks too? What are you doing here?
You invited me.
are the Stars doing well?
No.
Oh.
Kind of
They're in the
to the
playoffs.
finish line.
Well, what's next?
Aren't they in the playoffs?
Yeah.
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 The Mavs.
They're playing Colorado, but they stink right now.
And Robo got hurt last night.
Let me give you a Lone Star beer plug before we get into my Maddux documentary. They got a bit right now. They're teaming up with BBQ Distro for the Texas Barbecue Top 10 Prediction Sweepstakes. Someone will win $2,500 in cash if you go to bbqdistro.com/top10. Put your pick in for who will make the top 10 barbecue joints list. Hit submit. And then you're entered to win $2,500 in cash by entering your prediction. The deadline on that is May 14th. Of course, we love Lone Star beer, folks. The kids are loving Lone Star beer these days. You can get merch at lonestarbeer.com. I just pointed to my hat. I better be wearing my Lone Star beer
You are.
hat. I
You
am.
are.
That's just the way I am.
1984.
Not your Nambla hat?
Yeah. You can get Lone Star beer in Section 101 at Globe Life Field.
Does it get any better?
It does not get any better than having the national beer of Texas at Globe Life Field. And thank you, Lone Star Beer. for all your stuff.
Okay, Julie, when you
Boy,
cut
you-
that one, cut that last part.
No.
Honestly,
no.
you can leave the NAMBLA thing.
They love it.
You think
They
Julie's
love
cutting
it.
that?
Lone Star Beer knows what's up.
You know what I mean.
They know about the Dumb Zone. Yeah, and when you go, what is it, Dumb Zone 21
Yep.
for some merch discount, 21% off. Other beers might give 20% off. Not Lone Star Beer and Lone Star Light.
Can't forget the light.
Can't forget the light.
There you go. Now you landed that plane.
Lone Star Beer. They'll
All right,
leave
so-
the light on for you,
So I've been
is what they say.
All right.
Other commercials.
So Greg Maddux, One of a Kind, is a documentary that apparently was out about 15 years ago, and somehow it just came out like last summer, and I couldn't find it.
No.
Yeah, it was on MLB TV or something. Or
MLB has an
Network.
extremely
Yeah.
whack-ass online. They're good for games, actually, but if you want to watch something MLB Network produced and you pay for like the games, you can't watch it.
Did you end up seeing this or no?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Okay. Well, Blake found it for us. Actually, I want to credit Blake because he did put it in the Dropbox for us to watch. And then someone else emailed me a link this past weekend, and that's probably the one I used.
Okay.
So I apologize, but it's the same one. I went to the
How's
Dropbox
that
just
feel?
to see, make sure.
Cuck.
Yeah, basically.
But I had just, because I woke up, some nights I can't sleep. So I woke up at 4. I couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm like, you know what? While I'm laying here, why don't I just do a little something for the show?
That's what Greg Maddux would have done.
After waking her up and drilling her.
God.
So Greg Maddux, I just remember he was great, but I didn't really remember how great, I guess. Are you guys Greg Maddux guys? I mean, are you familiar with?
Oh, no, for sure.
I wore 31 in Little League because he was my favorite player.
Nice.
And what do you really think of when you think of Greg Maddux?
Location
Control.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean,
His brain.
He's going to outsmart you.
Yeah,
And
like
there's
he
nothing you
never
can do
looked,
about
he
it.
didn't look intimidating.
you look like your dad. Like
I
you're
mean,
just some,
he could throw-
Glasses. I mean, come on.
He
dude.
could throw 90, but not
not much more than
high
that ever.
90s,
it
yeah.
was
He wasn't
92,
like-
93.
Randy Johnson. He wasn't blowing anything by you. He was like
Well,
he was like what you would say the pitcher would be once they turned 34 and they didn't have their stuff anymore.
He learned how to pitch.
But he was like that when he was 22.
Right.
it's not completely comparable, and I was not like the biggest baseball guy, but it's kind of like Steph Curry in basketball, where you look at it and you're like, okay, well, LeBron's doing definite no. But Steph Curry, that's not like superhuman. He just knows where to put the ball.
Yeah.
And with Greg Maddux, it's like, all right.
You could almost see yourself as being Steph Curry.
Unfortunately, yes, I could.
You
But that's
could
my point, yeah.
I could squint and be that guy. I could squint and be Greg
Yeah, but
Maddux.
and then I would see like Randy Johnson, right? And it just looked like I'm like, that's not
Right.
in the cards.
Right.
But yes.
And I was really into baseball when Greg Maddux hit the scene. Yet, watching this documentary made me realize I was really into American League Baseball because I didn't really have a
So were you not getting hammered with Turner? Like you had to have some level of cable by that point, didn't you?
okay. Was very into Greg Maddux as a Brave.
Okay.
Didn't really have a memory of him as a Cub
Cub, sure.
at all.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Same here.
Like, at all. Yet, that's who he came up with. Came up with the Cubs in the mid-'80s and
Retired a Cub.
ended up retiring. Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
One day.
One day contract.
He actually, he did go back to play for the Cubs right after the Braves and thought, I'm going to retire a Cub.
Huh.
And he said that in the documentary. Thought that would be cool. Like when he left there and went back, they booed him. But he ended up kind of hanging on. He admits too long. He pitched into his 40s when he was less effective. I don't know if they ever tried turning him into a closer, but I kind of think that would be a great place for a Greg Maddux at the age of 40.
That's really weird. I mean, I guess if it works, it works. It's just so antithetical to what you think of out of the bullpen.
As a closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Dennis Eckersley was firing it at 98, but he was, in the later part of his career, and that's when he was really good as a closer. A lot of guys just telling, like legendary tales about Greg Maddux. Like they can't believe. So let me start with a piece of audio. This one is actually the longest cut I have. We can stop it and pause it and start it again. This is a couple minutes long, but it is an early career story, and it kind of just tells you, like it illustrates what kind of player Greg Maddux was. So he was a second-round draft pick, so it wasn't like he came out of nowhere. He was a good player, but he was struggling early career. Didn't go to college, drafted out of high school, made his way up through the minors, got called up to the Cubs, but was getting battered around a little bit, sent back down for a little bit, comes back up, getting battered around. Things aren't going that well.
You really need the respect of your teammates. I wasn't pitching good enough to get any respect from them, but I was able to do something that, maybe I got a little bit of respect from my teammates.
Well, Greg Maddux was pitching that day.
This is Rick Sutcliffe, who I didn't realize had any influence or knew Greg Maddux at all. Former Cub, yeah.
And he'd been told before the game that if he doesn't win, he's going back to the minor leagues.
I remember Eric Shaw was pitching and hit Andre right in the face.
Whoa! Hit by a pitch ball. Oh,
they're talking Andre Dawson.
Hit by a pitch ball.
Is that
He was
Carey?
our main guy.
Is that Harry Carey?
I remember him laying right there on home plate, kind of knocked out, and then he came to and, spit a bunch of blood on the plate, and then he started looking for Eric Shaw.
He gets up and he's running around the field looking for the pitcher. Like he got hit right in the jaw. And like Andre Dawson was one of the most feared hitters, and he might have been MVP that year. But it was during the collusion era, if you know what that is, where Major League Baseball owners decided they are not going to overpay for free agents. And Andre Dawson was the best hitter in baseball. He played for the Expos. Nobody would offer him a multi-year deal. So he took like a real low deal just to leave the Expos and go play for the Cubs. Like he took a 1 year, $1 million, something low to play for the Cubs. And he was awesome. Like he was just pissed. But he was like the most feared hitter in baseball, huge. And just that pitch that hit him in the face, man, it was brutal.
What'll be interesting, Harry, is when Greg Maddux goes out, what he will do.
They can kick him out of the ball game now.
And it's a dilemma because it's a 4-2 game.
They gave warnings to both sides,
Right. And I said, hey, here's what you're doing. You're going to go get 3 outs. You're going to get the win. And then in the 6th inning, you do whatever you want. And he looked at me and he went, no. He goes, I'm hitting the first guy. I said, if you don't go get 3 outs, they're going to send you to the minor leagues. And with tears in his eyes, he said, I don't care if I ever get another win. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. I can still see his face.
Now we'll see what Greg Maddux does. Santiago's hit by a pitch. And he is ejected. Here we go again.
He hit him. He got sent down to the minors, and I think he had the minimum 15 days or whatever it was. He was back in the big leagues, and he never saw that minor league bus again after that.
I certainly would have lost a ton of respect if I didn't hit anybody. That was way more valuable than any win I could have ever gotten.
So what Greg Maddux might have lost today, in the long run, might have helped him as far as the view his teammates held toward him.
I don't know what it meant to everybody, but I know what it meant to Andre Dawson. And there was a day Greg Maddux was pitching against Nolan Ryan, and a couple of our big boys weren't in the lineup.
Okay, this is like, you ever hear the Randy Johnson flu?
Yeah, you just
left-handers,
batting average.
Left-handers would, well, left-handers, the manager might take you out of lineup.
Right.
Right-handers might also say, I'll take my day off now.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like with Nolan Ryan in the mid-'80s. So if Nolan Ryan was pitching it, like, you know what? If I'm going to take one day off this week, I'll take today off. So a bunch of the Cubs players, that was the bit. and Andre Dawson saw the lineup.
Hawk grabbed a Sharpie and wrote their names in the lineup.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that happened.
Everybody in the clubhouse knew that Hawk was just trying to do something, repay Greg for standing up for him.
So like it was Greg Maddux versus Nolan Ryan one day in the future.
I think that's an incredible sports story.
I do too.
If even if just kind of true, that's awesome. Especially because like he's not diminutive, but I feel like he's not a jock.
Greg Maddux?
Yeah.
No, they called him the professor.
So having to, earn that sort of respect, however you can, is cool. I wish it didn't have to come with just throwing a baseball at someone in the game. So it's so stupid, but it's a really cool story.
By the time he becomes a free agent, he's offered a ton of money to go to the Yankees. He actually takes less to go to the Braves. He wanted to stay in the National League. Maybe this is how smart he is. You get that pitcher time up. That's going to be better for your ERA. He said it was, he knew the league. He kept mental notes on everything, and he just felt like it was more important to stay in the National League. So even though he got money whipped by the Yankees, he ended up going to the Braves. Made me a little nostalgic for those days in that, and it's part of my even thinking that I didn't really know a lot about Greg Maddux before he was on with the Braves all the time. Was it a better day when the leagues were separated? It's at least it's very interesting that, Greg Maddux would never face the Yankees at all unless it was the World Series. And he just didn't know any players from the American League and didn't feel like he could be, that effective. When he did sign with the Braves, they already had Glavine and Smoltz. They were already a playoff team. And now they add Greg Maddux, and they win the World Series year one that he's with them. They interviewed him and Barry Bonds separately, and they did the bit where I think we started this with The Last Dance, where they would give them an iPad.
Yes.
And they get to watch a particular at-bat. And then they both make comments on the at-bat.
That's very cool.
And then they go back and forth between them. It is really, really cool because it just shows their mind, like these are the best at their respective positions going at each other. And they have legendary battles. And I don't know. It's a very, very cool watch. He would call his own pitches. I didn't cut off the audio, but it is interesting, with secret signs to the catcher, and nobody knew about it until he retired, which I find very odd that other catchers who had worked with him didn't spill the beans on that to the rest of the league, but they didn't. Maybe that's a little bond, that a pitcher-catcher bond, even if you go to another team.
That's cool.
You wouldn't do it, which is a little ironic because one of his catchers, Eddie Perez, said that when he was they were facing the Phillies and Mike Maddux was pitching, Greg Maddux gave him a tip that he hit a home run off of Mike Maddux.
It's like F my family.
But maybe that's just a catcher-pitcher thing. He only told the catcher that tip. He didn't tell it to the whole team. But he would have secret signs to the catcher where he was. It's like pool or chess, obviously, is what you want to set things up for the future. So he's already got the whole at-bat in his head. And depending on how he threw that pitch would dictate what the next pitch is going to be. So when the catcher threw the ball back to him, if he caught it and hit it against the left side of his head, it'd be a curveball. Or if he then touched his right leg, it'd be a down and it was just crazy. They had this intricate set of signs that the catcher never gave a sign. Greg Maddux would only give the signs.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think he'd think of the pitch comm? You get to just plug it into a robot, call the pitch for you.
So here is Eddie Perez, actually.
The catcher.
His catcher, with a story about setting things up for the future.
We were regular season, and we were winning 8-0. It was easy game in the 8th inning. And he told me don't throw anything inside on Bagwell. Call everything outside. And I said, okay. I think it was somebody on. And he wants to go inside. And I, okay, it's a new game. So I went inside, called inside, and Bagwell hit like 1,000-mile.
Long low ball, Bagwell way back.
And I was mad, and I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, they got a good team, we got a good team. We're gonna play them in the playoff. He's gonna wait for that pitch. 3 months later, we're in the playoff, bases loaded in the 7th. We threw 3 straight changes and struck him out. And I was walking to the dugout, he goes, hey! And I looked at him, he said, you remember? 3 months ago, 2 months ago? And I said, no, I don't. He was looking for that pitch, the homer that he hit. And I was like, this guy. It's how smart he was.
Didn't RFK give a wild press conference yesterday about how there are no more baseball players because everyone's autistic now? Which, of course, anyone who'd played baseball was responding to that like, I don't think you've ever been around baseball, bud.
There. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
I saw stuff on Twitter
he just did
regarding
like
RFK and baseball, but I didn't know why.
That's why baseball is dying. It's like, listen, baseball is not dying because of autism. Baseball is only still alive because of
Yeah, you
autism.
think Cliff Lee wasn't autistic?
Some 9-year-old out there with a 40-page notebook, like.
Zach Greinke would like a word.
I mean, he's the common one, but dude, it's baseball. Come on.
One more story, legendary story. This is from Chipper Jones, who was the third baseman of the Braves.
It was a regular season game.
And now here's Gonzalez. He's got 2 runners on here.
And Bobby sent Leo out to
Pitching
tell
coach.
Maddux that he wanted to walk Gonzalez. Louis Gonzalez hit Maddux pretty good. Doggy's like, nope, not going to do it.
He goes, what? He goes, give me 2 pitches. I think I can pop him up to third base.
He goes, I'm going to throw him a changeup down and away, first pitch. Then I'm going to throw him a cutter, middle in, and he's going to hit a pop-up to Chipper. And we're going to get out of this inning. Leo just kind of looks at him, and he looks at the rest of us, and he goes, okay. And he turns around, and he walks back to the dugout. And I mean, you can hear Bobby's he's pissed, So sure enough, he throws him changeup down and away, ball 1, cutter in.
Got under this one a little bit, pops it down the left field line.
And I'm standing underneath the pop-up, just thinking, you have got to be kidding me. Caught it, inning over.
Bobby and I look at each other and went, unbelievable.
How does this also somehow make me miss Luca?
It's because it's not the coach.
It's sports genius.
It's
It's
someone
sports
who's
genius. It's never the
absolute
coach.
Genius.
Yeah.
It's the coach is going to tell you, hey, I think you should do this. You're going to go, no, I'm going to do this. And the coach in the end, a good coach, will probably say, all right. I mean,
welcome to Dan McDowell's TED Talk, everyone.
but you take a look at his numbers too, though. Take a look at his numbers and just how he, the best way to look at anyone is to judge them against the peers in their era, right? And he would lead the league in innings pitched year after year, lead the league in starts, ERA. He won, 4 straight Cy Youngs once he won that one. Actually, the last year. He tells a story, if you want Dan McDowell's TED Talk, of negotiating his contract with the Cubs. So he wanted to get an extension with the Cubs, and it was the last year of his contract with them. And he wanted a certain amount of money, and they're like, you haven't even won the Cy Young yet. You haven't won 20 games, and you're asking for this kind of money? So that year, he won 20 games for the first time, and he won the Cy Young. And then after the season, went back, and they wouldn't budge from their initial contract offer. And that's when he's like, well, all right, you're forcing me into playing the free agent game. And, that's when he went to the Braves and then won 3 more Cy Youngs in a row.
Incredible story.
Great documentary. I think you guys would love it. You're going to love it, Jenks, especially you.
I'm gonna get some food.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to.
Oh, well, we're taking a break.
I'm going to do this then.
Franco and understanding of the law and its power. 214 or 817. All threes. That time of the month is here. We all get 12 of these a year. So grab a seat and crack a beer. Perspective from a peer. That's right, it's book report time where the real Blake Jones comes alive. Some romantic novel or thriller. Book report of the month is so killer. Blake, what did you read? Blake, what did you read? It's time for NPR on a podcast, not NPR. Pages turning like ASMR. All day we're learning nothing. Blake Jones, please teach us something. Most people stopped reading after school. So late until Blake made it cool. Grab a book and turn the page. We're entering our bookworm phase. Hot book big season. I never wanted to read, never had a reason. Until Blake Jones' monthly book report. We can't get enough. Give us more. It's time for an NPR monthly book report. On a podcast, not NPR. Pages turning like ASMR. All day we're learning nothing. Blake Jones, please teach us something. Most people stopped reading after school. So late until Blake made it cool. Grab a book and turn the page. We're entering our bookworm phase. Hot book bitch season. I never wanted to read, never had a reason. Until Blake Jones' monthly book report. We can't get enough. Give us more. It's time for an NPR monthly book report. On a podcast, not NPR. Pages turning like ASMR. All day we're learning nothing. Blake Jones, please teach us something.
Jacob and Blake, now that makes a crowd. I love to listen every day now. If he could do it, I would take a bow. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dance and hope these fellas will give us a chance. Please, Mr. Dan, you make me cream. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dream. Dum 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 dum. It's a dumb zone. Pay them McDowell, Jacob and Blake, now that makes a crowd. I love to listen every day now. If you could do it, I would take a bow. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dance and hope these fellas will give us a chance. Please, Mr. Danny, make me cream. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dream. Dum 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 dum. It's a dumb zone. Hey there, McDowell, Jacob and Blake, now that makes a crowd. I love to listen every day now. If he could do it, I would take a bow. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dance and hope these fellows will give us a chance. Please, Mr. Dan, you make me cream. It's a dumb zone. Ladies, let's dream.
Dragon Productions, bringing you some dumb shit. Got the soul dropping at 3. That's alright with me. I've been waiting all damn day. Isn't that still a thing? Where's my Cajun seasoning? You know it's life to tape. It's the dumb zone. I've got the dumb zone in my ear. It's the dumb zone. Makes my work day weird. It's Dan and Blake and Jay. Got no puppet on the brain. No puppet, no puppet, no motherfucking. Got the Cowboys and the news. How embarrassing for you. It's life to tape. In the dumb zone. I've got the dumb zone in my ears. It's the dumb zone. Makes my work day weird. Yeah, they're high atop Dan's garage. Said they're high atop Dan's garage. Yeah, they're high atop Dan's garage. Said they're high atop Dan's garage. It's the dumb zone. I've got the dumb zone in my ears. It's the dumb zone. Makes my work day weird. No puppet, no puppet, no motherfucking puppet. Said no puppet, no puppet, no motherfucking puppet. Yeah, no puppet, no puppet, no motherfucking puppet. Said no puppet, no puppet.
They give opinions with confidence, just like 3 friends, and sit in, sometimes they sit out. At a house way across town, in Mesquite, Grapevine, or Flower Mound. They said we're gonna do our show any way we want. Cumulus tried to cancel them for about a month. Those were some lonely days on such time-spent airwaves, and I think it's gonna be a little weird to tune into my favorite station for 14 years, to not hear voices I always hear say no, 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 I don't want audio. took their time and paid their dues. 3 cool dudes to take a leap and leave the place where you know their voice, not their face. Oh no, well maybe don't let him eat the napkin. Dumb Zone boys somehow pulled it off. What a life to just get paid to talk. It's more than just a podcast, it's a comedy show. Everyone was wondering what would happen if the Hang Zone didn't show. Well, I guess we'll never know. They have guests like local stars, Sarah Hepala, Denny Bayless, who now just owns a bar. Some 690 Satans who wanna be cool, like that Deep Bellum actor, what a tool. No, 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 so what are you walking out? Dumb Zone boys are now so independent, they can say whatever, don't be offended. If you have a bit, they are cool, just send it. Dan loves salmon and broccoli, Jake drinks water jugs and vapes properly. Blake hits bombs on the course, Kemp spins in Pro Bowl divorce. Heart attack man and lovely book reports and business reports. Dan has both jeans and business shorts. He's back in guy, but so am I. It makes sense if you're in a bind. Don't forget about the roast twins, they will demolish your spirit in 2 minutes. From the Den Hyatt Talk Dance Garage, filled with bits and a fan base that also loved Entourage. So subscribe today, it's only $6.90. 2.5 hours of quality content and comedic timing. The Dumb Zone Podcast. Dum 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 dooby dum 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 dooby dum 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 dooby da wah 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 wah.
Well, I love you, Dumb Zone, for all you give to me. Sports and comedy, it's a win, you see. Win, you see. 4 episodes a week, let's get our boys out of poverty. So go and grab your buddies, it's time to get more subbies. Now come into a sock. Blake's talking Argyle, that's for sure a lot. Arrowhead water, always kept in stock. Saving all his earnings, hoping Lindsey Sterling gives him a heart to Jake has got a story, maybe it's a Kemp spin. It's the only news you need. Yeah, he's got a cat now, it cost more than my car. Wow, he's the champion of sobriety now. Dan's mic keeps moving, think he has a cough. Now his wife's at book club, so tonight it's Jack Gets Off. Gets an order in at Eatsy's from the salmon trough. Put it on a burger or a nice pilaf, yeah. Is bumping, there's something always barking. It's probably Bodie. The show keeps getting better. They need subs now more than ever. It only costs you $9.60. Wow! So I love you, Dumb Zone, for all you give to me. Sports and comedy, it's a win, you see. 4 episodes a week, let's get our boys out of poverty. So go and grab your buddies, it's time to get more subbies. So let's get more subbies. So let's get more subbies. So let's get more subbies.
And then
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Here live at Wild Will's Golf Tournament at Bear Creek Golf Course. Good food. They have great food, big spread. They forgot napkins. TC ran to the bathroom and got those for
Have
us.
no fear.
These are napkins TC got from the bathroom. They're very clean. They're sanitary, you might say, these napkins.
What's a golf tournament without napkins, I always say. Who is that?
Ted Emmerich is here.
No
Wow.
puppet. No puppet. No puppet. No puppet. No puppet. No puppet. No puppet.
Oh, mashup.
No puppet. No puppet.
What's that?
With the big man.
The big man, indeed. Should we promote Ownwell before we move on?
Why not? You know, because, Dan, these property tax deadlines are coming up.
What's the deal with property taxes?
Listen.
I own the house. What do I also got?
This information's not really for you specifically because I kind of view you as a guy who likes getting taken advantage of and throwing money away. And you're like, oh, I'll just give the government my money.
I do.
But red-blooded Americans, we're not like that. We go to ownwell.com/thedumbzone and we fight.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Re-rack it. You were going
We're not
somewhere.
Gonna do it. Ownwell.com/thedumbzone is how you save money from the grubby government.
Yeah, man.
They will save you on average $1,100 per customer. You only pay Ownwell if they save you money, and that'll apply to 86% of customers. So this is a no-lose situation. Go check them out at ownwell.com/thedumbzone. Ownwell.com. Wow, wow.
Oh, can I use your juice?
Hit me.
Let's
Juice
see if
it
it
up.
actually works. Or if it's going to hum. No hum.
Speaking
It's
of
just me.
that,
It's your wire.
for no other reason than I'm curious about it, like, how long has your hair ever been?
Me?
Yeah.
Naughty Ben Franklin?
Not as a little kid, you mean? My mom was a hippie, and
20
I
and
looked
older.
like a little girl.
20 and older. Like when you had control of it. Was Ben Franklin the longest?
Probably around there. Yeah,
I've
I
always
never
wanted-
got to Corby level.
I've just always wanted, like, I just want to try it. What would I look like?
Just keep growing your hair? I
Yeah.
think you should do it. Are you
Well-
watching Gemstones? Is that why?
No. Related to this, you just said, could I get some juice? I've also been thinking about trying steroids.
Interesting.
Like legit, the type of stuff I wanted when I was 17 or 18 but couldn't get. Now I can. And I have, like, adult medium money. And I'm like, what if I just did a cycle?
Who was the guy in Colleyville that was helping the baseball players? Mr. Mike or something?
Yeah,
Remember that?
there was a story. Yeah, there's
I
a
wonder
couple
if
of
he's,
those guys.
I wonder if he's still operating. If you could hit him up.
I do play on a flag football team of like 20-something, so.
I feel like, this is kind of like Joe Buck addicted to hair plugs.
Gotta have something.
Like, Jose Canseco was still, like, really into steroids after playing baseball. Like, he was still into it. Like, I could see doing it because it could lead you to a big contract and all that kind of stuff.
I just want to see, but you're right.
Like, could you bulk up?
As a guy who's kind of a known addict, it might not be the best idea for me to be like, yeah, what if I found an intravenous drug?
Can you
just
pill
to
it?
see. Yeah, kind of. It's not as.
Hey, is Ozempic?
They're making a pill.
I was going to say, I saw a thing this morning that said they're going to have a weight loss pill.
Yeah.
I go, don't we already have one? Is Ozempic, that's a needle?
No, it's a needle.
Yeah, it's a shot, yeah.
Damn.
Get that bad boy right
Like
out
once a week
right
or
out
whatever.
the fridge.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this, though.
Can't do a nasal spray?
Just to protect my honor, the Ozempic shot is a pinprick. That's not like the shots I was having to administer on the daily. That needle was.
You just want Clayton to know that.
Well, I've
what you
seen
went
both
through is a bigger
needles, and
deal.
I'm telling you, one of them looks like a pinprick.
I heard the. What's the one giant long needle they have to stick in your stomach?
The epidural. Oh.
That's in your spine.
No, the stomach one
I don't
for
know.
rabies, right? Or isn't there something?
Oh, like in
Yeah,
1923?
like a tetanus type.
Is it that? I don't know.
Where were you going?
Clayton says tetanus
With
is
it.
in the ass.
I was just going with that's a big needle.
No. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Huge.
Were you ever scared of the dentist needle when you were a kid?
Never dealt with it.
A kid?
You've never had a Current?
Yeah.
You've never had a cavity?
That thing sucks.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Well, as a kid, I would get cavities all the time. Again, hippie mom, I'm not sure. I never flossed until I was out of college.
I don't think many kids were flossing, dude.
Back in the day?
Now?
I don't know. I think now it's kind of like you're being yelled at to do it all the time. Or at least my kids were.
Maybe at a certain age. We're not there yet.
No, we are not. We're fighting to get the teeth brushed.
Well, I think there's certain people that don't really need to brush their teeth. They won't get cavities anyway. Maybe you're one of them.
Well, no, I just brush my teeth 2 to 3 times a day, and lo and behold, I don't. I have a friend who didn't brush his teeth regularly for years, and humbly admitted that that did, in the end, have a bill that came due, figuratively or otherwise.
Yeah, TC's teeth story is it's great.
He learned a lot from it. Anyways.
Where were we? Why were we saying all that
I don't know. We could do some viewer mail or something.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
I have an inbox full of questions for Ted, and they didn't even know he was coming on. People just emailed me like, hey, if you see Ted.
Why?
That didn't happen.
Yeah, we're going to
be funny.
We're potentially doing a bit at the end of the show, too. We brought Ted here, and we need to use his beautiful announcer voice.
Here at Bear Creek Golf Club.
Okay, so I have a couple things that I have to make sure I get to this week. We got a twofer from our business lawyer, Dustin.
Really?
So he said, do you remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about last week about burning drugs?
Absolutely.
And how, I don't even remember how that came up, but you had been to one, like a police department that invited out the local reporter.
So they could see us destroy all the drugs that were in the evidence.
So
bin.
Dustin says, my dad actually works at a company whose job it is to collect the drugs and then dispose of them chemically. Most still get rid of things by incineration, but a lot of those are shutting down for some reason. It is a shit ton of work to get approved as a company to actually take the drugs, so most try and destroy on site to avoid the hurdles. But one thing that was interesting, you know who has a shit ton of drugs and really no good way to get rid of them? Airports. DFW Airport, he said, is just full of drugs at all times. Because there's not like a quick way for them to move it.
So there's some room at
Just
the airport
room full
of drugs?
dope at the airport, yeah.
I bet somebody could give us more information on that, too. Someone that's been in that room.
I think of the terminal and Tom Hanks and Is for Goat. If you ever saw that.
Never did.
No? Okay.
Sorry.
Never mind.
But that was a killer reference.
Thank you. Thumbs up, Clayton. Appreciate that.
He also says, and I should have confirmed this earlier, but yesterday we were playing you some audio in the kids' content corner from, did this delete? No, from Santa Buddies, where there's a dog that talks a little different than the other dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, this is plugged in. I'm never going to get this right, Blake, so just when we're on remote, it's always going to be weird.
No one believes in Christmas spirit anymore. That's why I'm here, to learn how to be an ordinary pup.
Well, you found the right dog to school you. Come on, I'll show you my crib. Into the Boogaloo Jaw drop, to the tail rotation, for the B-Dog Nation.
Yeah, way to break those moves.
Yeah, I know, I'm the best. Let's see you give it a shot, player.
That actor right there.
Player?
The dog who's speaking in Ebonics, that is the voice of Gideon Gemstone.
Oh, wow.
Who did that
That doesn't sound
when he
anything
was a
like
little
him.
kid.
Damn.
Oh. He
Yeah.
did it as a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, he was, let's see, that was 2009.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a current show you were watching.
No, he was 12 or 13, and they had him doing, hey, player.
How did you know that? Did you just see his name on the credits or something?
No, our business lawyer, Dustin,
Oh,
who
okay.
tells us how to burn drugs, also hit me with that one.
Wow.
All right, I have a, this is a controversial email, okay? Now, there's an image that I'm going to show you with it. This is a man named Jason. So if you recall when we were at the Alamo and we were commenting on how boring the Alamo is, I suggested that there's an opportunity for paintball, but the opportunity would be themed. So if you went to go play paintball at the Alamo, a couple hundred guys at a time, you could choose to be the Mexicans if you wanted.
But you don't necessarily win, though, right?
No.
You don't have
it's not a reenactment.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it could turn out different.
Yeah, it could
you
be.
know?
Right.
But so this guy said, in reference to Jake's Alamo paintball story, and could you be on the Mexican side, there's a place in Sanger called D14 Airsoft.
Indians.
Nice.
That was
Very
quick,
nice
too.
pull. That was fantastic.
Awesome. Dane Evans, Tulsa.
Yeah.
Great player in college.
He says, it's airsoft, not paintball, but still fun. Anyways, me and my friends went out there for an event. We dressed up as terrorists. Someone
Oh no!
Where did I put it? I know it's in the Day of Air folder, but it's exactly
They
what.
got long gray beards.
I saw it.
Okay, yeah.
I saw the email.
AK-47.
Yeah, and so he said, I always wondered how they wear these long-sleeved robe things, but I gotta say, this is one of the most comfortable things I've ever worn. After buying a thobe, which is the actual name of it, as I was informed by a very nice Middle Eastern salesman, they're super comfortable. He said, I wear it inside my home. It's so comfortable. I only wear it inside, though, because I do live in redneck country. Just thought I'd share.
That's great.
So what have you and the boys, no, this is just an idea for a massive paintball park, right? And there are 7 or 8. It's exactly like Blake going to go play certain locations on Warzone. I just want to play them in real life. Let's do the Alamo. Let's do Normandy.
What's the golf course that has the different?
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
The
It's in
different
Flower
what?
Mound or something.
Tour 18, maybe?
Tour 18. They
But
have
yeah.
like the island green of Sawgrass.
Okay.
They
Or-
have.
But they have this
Gotcha.
for
The
softball, Big League
replicas.
Dreams. You can play at Fenway.
And
or
when we
play
were
at
when we were
Really?
when we were kids, Dan, and this one's going to hit real hard for a certain type of person. We had Arc Park.
What's that?
Arc Park was a youth baseball complex that had Wrigley, Fenway.
Is that what you're talking about?
No,
they have, so this is slow pitch softball.
Oh, a different
yeah.
one.
This
Okay.
when you were a kid, if you could get on a team that was going to play at Arc Park.
Yeah.
It was
And
like,
they had a little
holy
tiny
shit.
version of Fenway,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
with a giant wall. That'd
And
be
they
awesome.
had,
That's
they
cool.
had,
That's cool.
the greenery on what's
Yeah,
the
the Ivy.
Ivy? Yeah.
And you're saying that's all
Do
this
it
is?
for paintball. Come up with historical battles. It's a great
You
idea,
can do Gettysburg paintball.
Battle of the Bulge.
Black Hawk Down.
guys. Business.
Let's all throw in. No puppet production.
And,
I'm an
see, and,
investor.
and I think part of the
One of them, you try to find
there's
Saddam.
There's Mike Adams. I think part of the thing here is that when,
It is Mike Adams.
when
Zero
you,
Dark 30.
when you come
Yeah.
to historical conflict paintball, judgment-free zone.
Of course, yeah.
So,
you can dress any way you want.
If your team ended up being like Sudanese child rebel soldiers and you needed to play that part, here at conflict
At Hotel Rwanda.
Exactly.
Dude, number one, you're not going to have to pay for advertising because this is going to be a huge news story when you open this up. I like this a lot.
That's Noah Syndergaard.
For real?
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
their store.
And you know he's serious because he wears long pants, not shorts.
You guys want to pop him on at some point? Just be like, what's going on?
I don't know. Maybe when we're walking out doing
Yeah.
the bit.
All right, I'm going to do another email then.
All right.
This one is
Sitting right here.
to be kept anonymous. We were discussing the other day. Boy, Noah Syndergaard has a great ass.
You want to get him on? Tell him.
Okay.
In a minute.
He's right in front of the speaker.
We were talking. I don't care. Get him over here. I'll tell him. Think I won't?
Where's he live? Well, I guess that'd be a
around
question
here.
for
I've
him,
seen him
but-
work out at APEC in Fort Worth before. But we were talking about conjugal visits last week. How they work. You know, you hear about it your whole life of just like, do they bring your wife into a little room for an hour? Like, what's the setup?
An
here?
hour?
A trailer.
I don't know. It's any more than that seems crazy.
It does.
But, like, even if you're in prison, after like an hour, aren't you like, she doesn't stop. She keeps talking. So this guy who emailed us, big listeners, said, I spent about 8 months in a level 2 prison in another state.
Damn.
It wasn't the lowest security prison you could be at, but right above the lowest. You could walk around free will except for at night. There was a fence keeping you in. It had Army-style barracks for rooms. No cells. We had a church, a library, free weights. He says, the way conjugal visits work is this. If you've had enough good behavior and you've been there over a year, you could rent out a double-wide trailer right outside the property. Your family could come to that, and you could be there for 24, sometimes 48 hours if it was a holiday weekend. The family would be allowed to bring in whatever food you want. So I saw some people with buckets of KFC or barbecue or burgers, things of that nature. It's a whole 3-bedroom trailer that you and your family can stay in and visit and do whatever you want until the next day. So I didn't know that. I didn't know it was off property. I would imagine there's probably, I don't know if there's a camera, but they're at least searched before they come in. I mean, you have to search to visit. You get searched pretty hardcore to visit someone at rehab. So maybe they give you privacy because they've searched you. But I think this is really unfair to the prisoner with no family, because if I've been good and I've been there over a year and I just want to get a 24-hour goon and grub sesh where I just beat off and eat Domino's for 24 hours, why
Can you do that
Why
or
can
no?
I not do that because I'm not married?
Right.
And I don't have kids. I want to have a conjugal
Can
visit.
you have your buddies show up?
Do a fantasy draft?
Like if we showed up, yeah.
Holy shit.
You gave your conjugal visit to us.
If you are currently in prison, we will come do a 690 at your conjugal visit.
For free, yeah.
In the
we'll
trailer.
For free.
We'll pay for the trailer rental.
Yeah. Hit us up. So anyways, that's how conjugal visits work.
Wow. The more you learn about jail, the better it gets.
I know, man. Food.
Free weights? Are you kidding me? I got to pay LA Fitness for that.
Okay.
You don't really have to get – they give you clothes, right?
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to try and look fashionable? You don't have to tell me.
I think they even possibly in jail they have like therapy.
Uh-huh.
But if you're on the outside, I suggest checking out BetterHelp.
Nice job.
What a brilliant segue.
Nice job.
How about that?
Go to
The norm of his generation.
BetterHelp.com/dumbzone. In-person therapy, if you've tried it, you know the deal. It can be very expensive, and it's also very hard to maintain a schedule. It's so hard to find an in-person session. But with BetterHelp, you can save up to 50% per session. You pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, and you don't have to deal with therapist sunk cost. If you go to a visit with a therapist 4 or 5 times in person, you're like, I really am not feeling this, but I've already kind of done this. You don't deal with that with BetterHelp. Just cut the cord, and you can move on to someone that fits better with you. You get quality care at a price that makes sense for you, unless you're in jail. At BetterHelp.com/dumbzone, you will get 10% off your first month. So go check them out.
You can probably do it in jail if you got internet, right?
That's the key.
You just need internet.
That's the key. If you have internet in jail, still an option. BetterHelp for all, prisoners included, at BetterHelp.com/dumbzone.
See, the problem with the wives being here is they'll still put their, like, little slogans on their shirts. Like, that lady's shirt says, I like big putts and I cannot lie.
Yes.
Men play golf to get away from that.
Yep.
Did you see the hat another one of them has? It says, put it on my husband's tab.
Hell yeah,
Brilliant.
bro.
He's probably got
Golf
money.
was
Absolutely
invented to
brilliant.
get away from them, and now they've infiltrated it.
They had to,
But they're running the operation here.
they live, laugh, love the golf. Want to do some news?
Do you want to do that? Okay.
Here's Jay with the
I don't know what we're in.
All on the same page here.
They're taking pictures, too.
All right. In local violence, we have a couple of updates on these, I don't know, stories of the day. The first one, the Wilmer Hutchins shooter. We're learning more about that. Young man who has now turned himself in. Crazy story that I watched.
This is not the
stabbing. This is a
Carmelo
school-
Anthony.
This is not Carmelo with a K.
Dwayne Wade.
We're going to get to Carmelo Anthony. He shot, you know what, I don't even know.
5.
5? I had just seen 4 last, but no one killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so the news was
Little
talking
positivity.
last night. some guy, just a good Samaritan, I guess, was driving near that high school and saw this kid running around. And the kid ran up to him and was like, I crashed my dad's car. I've got to get to a place where I can use a phone or like a payphone or something and call him. And the guy's like, get in. And it was him. The police asked the guy, did you look for a gun? Did you see his gun? He's like, I didn't see anything. I wasn't looking for that.
Yeah.
There's also a video that the kid posted in his car on Instagram, like right after he did it. He's shirtless and he's looking over at the camera. And I know, like, the game we play, like, stereotypes are fun. But Blake did the deal yesterday where he was like, which kind of school shooting was this? Because we've joked, like, a lot of times when there's a shooting in a poor neighborhood, it's like two kids got in a fight, and that's much more common in that neighborhood.
Yeah, or
as
was
opposed
it-
to like the I walked in and started indiscriminately killing, or it was just a popular kid, whatever.
A real premeditated.
I think that's probably kind of racist of me to say, just because like I watched this video of this kid after this killing. He's clearly dealing with a very serious mental health issue. He's like, you know, my whole family's dead. They were coming for me, and everyone's trying to kill me, and I'm not going to let them kill me. I'm not going to be the last one. And he did, like, target 4 or 5 kids that he was getting picked on by, I guess. So,
damn.
I don't know. I'm just saying I felt a little bad about the way I characterized that as, like,
Oh, so you're
white
saying
kids have to be crazy, and then but black kids are just violent. It
I
just felt a
see,
little.
I see, yeah.
Because when you watch this kid talking, you're like, that kid that's not just like you got mad that day.
Well,
Something
this
else
is a
happened.
great moment for you to realize that black people can be crazy too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it's
know?
a good reminder.
You're growing.
It's a good reminder.
It doesn't
Are there any-
reflect your core values.
That's exactly
Jake.
right.
Why are there none, to my knowledge, female school shooters?
There were a few here this year, just in the last month or
Well,
so.
you know
That
what-
story in Wisconsin.
What's fun about those is there's usually like a trans element that is pushed on it. So it's like if a born female wants to be a male and be a Nazi, and like they post about it, so they transition to be that, who's to blame?
Interesting. The
The
groomers
woke trans groomers
that
or-
are telling everybody to trans up.
or the Nazis who are like,
what's the difference?
Well, I'm saying if you're like if you transition to be a Nazi, who's to blame? The transition? Or,
But what I'm
whatever.
saying is, yeah, the woke groomers are the
Yeah.
same as Nazis, bro.
Yeah, same path. No, we're not playing videos, so I don't want to do that one. Oh, the other local violence story is Carmelo Anthony related. There were a couple stories yesterday that the first one was that they had purchased some like $800,000 home with their legal defense fund that was raised on GoFundMe.
Are these true?
I don't think so.
Okay, because that's the thing. You go on Twitter, and I just don't know what's true anymore.
Well, his attorneys have had a couple of press conferences. They gave comment yesterday.
Like,
they say that the
Did
family.
you say the car? Did you mention that?
No.
Completely fabricated,
Okay,
apparently.
because I saw a thing. They bought him a $150,000 car.
Like Escalade or something?
$800,000 home, paid for it in cash.
So they've been. The house was leased for $37.50 a month by the family in 2022. So it's been the same address for 2 years, registered or to them, whatever. So I don't know if it's true or not. And then today, his attorneys had a press conference about an hour ago, and in a really weird twist, you recall the father of Austin Metcalf, the student who was murdered. He came out and spoke to the news like that day or the next day and was like very
Day of. I've
cool about it,
already
frankly.
forgiven him.
Yeah,
Right,
this is-
yeah.
He said, like, this is not a race thing. It's not something that should be taken in that way. So I don't know what his move was today, but he showed up at the press conference of the accused murderer and
Wow.
his legal team. And the legal defense team had DPD remove him.
Wow.
And then they gave comment where they opened the press conference and just said, hey, that's entirely inappropriate, and it's disrespectful to his son's honor for him to be here. really weird situation all the way around. But no, the image I wanted to show you guys, which I don't follow this account. It's DOM_LUCRE. Dom Lucre. I don't know, but I see it all the time. Like I said, 1.5 million followers. It's like a black Twitter news and social activist account.
All right.
Is it the Dov Kleiman for something else?
You're not that far, but not for the NFL, but for race. So this guy's whole bit is he's almost like a news source for the black community, and he's been saying, he's the one who says, like, hey, they didn't buy this car. 2022, they had this house. People are just trying to sow division here. Like, let's actually just look at the case and see what happens. So he puts that out there. It's got 5,000 retweets right now. So I was reading through his report, and this is like, I'm not a big stickler for grammar. I'm not Ted Emmerich, right? Like, I don't need everything to be in AP style. I don't really know how to speak. But you tell me if something jumps out at you guys in, like, words repeatedly. So if we're going to go with alleged, like, once, I think we use it for murderer and not track runner.
Yeah.
Why would you ever
What other
need
kind
to
of
be
runner are
a
you?
alleged football player?
Right. No, that seems like
you're
the
accusing
objective
him.
fact.
Yeah.
You can confirm.
There's
or
a
deny.
good spot here to use alleged. It's the murder.
You guys are alleged podcasters now.
Yeah. Yeah, and our other bit yesterday was the RF. I was going to play that RFK audio for you guys, but I feel like I'm tired of talking about
What did he say?
Tired of talking about politics. Okay, so this is a bit
Did
of
you
a...
see the Cheryl Hines?
Oh, that was spicy.
At the UFC.
Gold.
She certainly has said something to RFK about that, correct?
Of course.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't see it.
All right, I've got one more decent-sized news story here, but I also want to be cognizant of time.
Ooh, good word.
And we have some responsibilities here. So what do you think?
I mean, I'm letting you make the call.
All right, there's your news.
Okay. I really wanted to do that story. But
It's going to be great tomorrow.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
Grub up.
All right, we'll do this, and then we'll do our bit.
Today in history.
What'd you get?
Fried chicken sandwich with pimento cheese because of the Masters.
Oh, wow. The Chick-mento.
wanna talk-
That's what you do. You got to Frankenstein the sandwich at the Masters.
You guys want to talk B-Nell for a second?
B-Nell?
The Byron Nelson.
Oh, my God.
Jake has some things to say with a pimento cheese sandwich in his mouth.
And
Boy, I
bet
sure
you-
do, man.
I bet you
B-Nelly.
can get them
We're
at
gonna-
the 17th hole.
We're going to be at the B-Nelly.
We are going to be at the B Nelly, Dan.
It's
He
going to
can
be great.
If he can finish his bite.
Yeah. We're going to be there. Tito's is going to be there.
It
You're
is.
absolutely going to love it.
You're going to hear a lot more about it in the next couple sets. Byron Nelson with the Dumb Zone and the Byron Nelson with the Dumb Zone and the Mom Game. As we go live from the Mom Game, as we go live from the 17th hole from 1 to 4, thanks to our sponsors at Tito's Handmade Vodka. Bring your crew and experience world-class vodka. Bring your crew and experience world-class golf as the pros take on TPC Golf as the pros take on TPC Craig Ranch. The tournament has it all, Dan. Incredible food, cold drinks, and an unbeatable atmosphere. Soak up the sun, make some memories, and catch every swing with us at one of the most exciting stops on the PGA Tour. Tickets are on sale now at the CJ Cup, ByronNelson.org. Kids under 15 get in free with an adult. Don't miss out. Tito's Handmade Vodka is an official sponsor of the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. Stop by the Tito's Clubhouse at the 17th hole and raise a Tito's transfusion to your day on the green. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
That was a good read, dude.
Come see us.
What is today? The 17th?
See.
Okay. This is the birthday of Josh Ewan. Good listener. We're going to be out at his house broadcasting. But he sent Blake an email like a month ago talking about that broadcast. It said, "Oh, by the 17th." So happy birthday to Josh Ewan.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
He says Jake misidentified my Luka 1s as Luka 2s.
Egregious.
When he was here last time, but was probably a raging alcoholic at the time.
Yeah.
So not
Still
a big
is.
deal. I don't think you were raging.
I tell you the issue here, folks, is that we had the original Luka 1s, but we also had those first ones they put out, which were the Luka Air Jordan 1s, which are on the Jordan base, and I have those. And I don't think I can wear them anymore.
Why?
It just feels weird.
Oh, I'll definitely wear Luka's. Come on.
Think of him.
Dear Jake the Simp, Prowl Her Bowels McDowell, it is my cousin Jared Clay's JJ Barea plus JJ Wilcox birthday.
Oh.
Nope.
40?
Got nothing.
Let's see. His leaders are TC, Air Bud Dwyer, and whoever is in heaven using peanut butter to seduce Kirk Herbstreit's dog. More Chappie Dingu and Mike Reiner from Scott. P.S. We have a bet on Jake's best 40-yard dash time ever, and he has an over-under. So I can't tell you what his over-under is.
The best ever, which was not laser time, so there's almost no way it was accurate. And I mean that in I was probably benefiting from a coach who liked me. The best I ever did was 4.79.
His over-under was 4.9.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was not easy for me to get to either.
And greetings, Uncle Nut, up in them guts. Today is my beloved wife Amanda's Sean Kemp birthday. Jake would love this woman. She is 6 feet tall, has thighs that can crush pumpkins, and humiliates me in front of friends and family regularly.
Yeah, no, I would like to be crushed. Embarrass me, honey.
She knows about my fandom and went as far as to buy me a sit-in last year. Let's see, as a member of the Beehive, any assortment of Blake drops will be good. Fuck.
That's an issue.
Can you shut this down? Tell them we're going to be here for 15 more minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck Fat Prick Dumont.
Wow.
From No Tux Chad. If you remember No Tux Chad?
Yeah, I do. From coming to the den.
A couple of guys said they were going to wear tuxedos when they showed up to the den, and Chad didn't tell his buddy that he did not wear his tuxedo.
It's a good bit.
Okay.
So just one guy was in a tuxedo.
Blake's got a wire will. He's on the case. They're going to
all
shut
right.
down this competing PA situation.
All right, I'll try to make this quick then, because we want to go do a bit.
That's what your wife heard.
Hell yeah. So it's
Come
Thursday, April 17th. On this day in 1999, quarterbacks went 1-2-3 in the NFL draft for the first time since 1971. Can you give me either of the years, 1999 or the 1971
Tim
quarterbacks?
Couch, Achilles Smith, Joey Harrington.
Nicely done.
Is that not right?
Is not right. Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, Achilles Smith.
Was that the same draft for Harrington?
I haven't.
Oh, Harrington was a few years later.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because he was NCAA 2002,
03.
You're right. Yeah.
PS2, man.
Yep.
Hell yeah, bro.
Anybody want to take a crack at 1971?
No.
No.
All right, Jim. This is the day in 2013 that a fertilizer plant exploded in West Texas. Texas. This is the day that Barbara Bush died. We'll get to her later, but the point was that
Can I tell you my memory of that West plant explosion?
Sure. Do we call for kolaches or something?
I don't know. Whatever you did, I had nothing to do with. Immaturity, I'm not sure, but I remember the.
Yeah.
And there was a Followell and Sean Bass Mavs postgame show.
Engineered by me.
And there, I mean, hundreds of people are dead or injured. And it was the last game of the year. And I was in my car. I was probably cares, and he does.
The
but it was like,
ticket's
I was
the ticket,
so mad
but the
when that
Mavs
happened.
post game is not.
They were going into the playoffs, by the way.
Do you know what I mean? Like regular
Yeah,
programming is, hey, we talk about anything. Mavs post game show, no. You talk about the Mavs game that just happened or things that affect the Mavs.
Yeah, well.
You do not veer off and do you just don't even, if there's a big enough story like that, you throw it to the news people. That's what I would say.
PD Dan.
Call me with questions.
We got to get ready for the Spurs, and we're over here.
I agree with you. I agree with young Jake there. Let's do some today's birthdays. Boomer Esiason, 64.
Didn't he almost go to jail? Or was that just his partner?
You're talking about Carton.
Partner. Yeah. Okay.
Dwayne Casey, 68.
He's been fired a couple times. Got a ring.
Pound the rock.
DJ.
What
Not going to work here anymore.
Where is he?
I have no idea.
Was it Florida State?
He was Oregon, right?
He was Oregon State. He was Clemson.
It's confusing, too, because he's got the brother.
Did he go Clemson, Florida State, Oregon State? It's not the right
Nobody
trajectory.
knows. Fred Smoot, 46.
Okra patch.
Yeah, he was on the Vikings boat.
Okay, it says Kempspin.
Yeah.
Clark Peters is 73. Lester from The Wire. Maynard James Keenan is 61.
Math. Tool.
Who opened for Tool?
Bush.
That's right. Who opened for Korn?
Hole.
The Butthole Surfers.
Adam McKay, 57.
I think he's got a lot, but I'm also really annoyed. He just, to me, is like the quintessential Hollywood left-leaning guy.
Just too much?
Yeah.
And threw it in your face a lot more as of late.
Yeah.
Right. Don't look up.
Just
exactly.
Miggs. You don't want any of that thrown in your face, I don't think. Well, maybe Miggs.
I'll do for wings or something.
Jennifer Garner, 53.
I guess.
I think she's attractive.
Not my thing.
Not curvy enough.
Which well do you guys know your Spice Girls? Posh
Victoria Beckham
is 51.
Wow.
I could have got that.
That an easy one? Easy one? And Rooney Mara is 40. She's married to Joaquin Phoenix. So did you say, hey, make sure you turn down the PA, just turn music up?
They're told to wait 10 minutes waiting for their effing trophy.
Born on this day, now dead, Alexander Cartwright, who actually invented baseball, and Rowdy Roddy
Piper.
Didn't know if you knew which Rowdy that was. Dead on this day, still dead. Not naughty, Ben Franklin.
Didn't he like get a ton of poon?
Yeah.
I think he died of syphilis.
Especially his time in France.
Yeah, there's no doubt, dude. Big boy like that.
Anytime he's portrayed like on John Adams, the HBO miniseries, he just slayed.
There was a year, I guarantee you, at his peak where he didn't have sex with a single woman over 17.
Linda McCartney.
Got the...
No, she's the vegan first wife. Robert Atkins invented the Atkins diet.
And then died of heart disease.
What if we just eat meat? Doris Roberts.
Dad,
That's
being
not a
400
joke.
plus pounds.
No, I'm saying, aren't you, like, within, you are.
You got to be careful with those genetic predispositions, buddy.
Yeah. No?
I mean, I don't know. I think I work pretty hard to try to keep that off. I don't
That's
know
what
if
I'm
it's
saying.
showing.
No, I'm saying, that's Jesus Christ. What's wrong with this guy?
You're boxed in,
Does
bud.
nobody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
Yeah. I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not
do you have to work?
pre-diabetic.
Do you have to work harder?
I lost a lot of weight in the
to keep
6th
weight on.
grade.
For real?
For whatever reason, I've kind of kept it off, I guess. I don't know.
I think
I'm
you
not,
look great.
I'm not all hot like Jake over here.
No
you
one
know.
is. Sorry, Wire Will. And
Thanks for bringing me in
with
on
Ted
this.
Emmerich. I love Ted Emmerich.
I can't. Well, what do
Anyway.
you got?
I got
Anyway, we're doing
didn't
closing
request the
remarks.
headset.
Blake wanted to yell at you for letting the PA go.
I think it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I held him off as long as I could.
Yeah?
People got to go pick up their kids at school.
I'm
Why
good
is
with it.
Why is Noah Syndergaard here?
He's a buddy of one of our dad's club guys. One of our guys played for the Rangers for half a season. He played with Noah at the Mets. And yeah, so he's just a buddy of one of our guys, and he plays softball with us, and he's an honorary member of the Dads Club.
Your guy is Mike Adams?
No.
Oh, you got another guy.
Another guy. His name is Logan Verrett.
I've heard that name. Yeah. Mike Adams way more than one half of a season.
That's what I thought.
Texas.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, the Mike Adams thing just happened on opening day. Lee talked to him and was like, "Hey, you want to come play?" And so we stuck him on a team with a bunch of other pitchers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they don't like being sequestered like that.
That's the GCISD.
They like to roll
mark
together.
Right there.
Yeah.
You come out to Grapevine, Colleyville, a lot of guys who had a cup of coffee and the Bigs kids out there.
So,
all right.
Tell him we're on the air. Jesus Christ.
Now
He's
everyone
wearing a
will.
goddamn
Jesus.
headset.
Everyone
who
just
I am?
relax. Everyone just relax.
So I just seriously want to know, if somebody sees somebody at a table which is clearly broadcasting, he is wearing a headset talking to us, and the guy walks right up to him.
I'm good. Thanks, Jake.
Unbelievable. Well,
Making me
anyway.
nervous, homie.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this guy. Not you, Wire Will.
Stand up and
Wire
do
Will's the best. You know why Wire Will's the best? When I pulled up today, he directed me over to a parking spot and it had a cone in it.
Of course he did.
He has his own orange cone.
I tried to give TC the same treatment. He just avoided me and drove around the parking lot.
You want to close this thing out with your big Roman salute?
I do not, but I do want to thank Wire Will.
Thank you, guys.
Would you
Thank
invite
y'all
us
for
to
being
your
here.
consortium someday?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually talked about that a couple weeks ago.
So you meet with Qualis?
Yeah.
Community
the Qualis
Mechanical?
guys, the community guys are sitting right there. There's Travis is right there.
Text them right now.